Out 2 had a huge debut. The animated sequel pulled in $155 million, more than enough to take the top spot.
That's the biggest opening since Barbie.
They managed to grab $295 million around the world in total this weekend. Also, Bad Boys Ride or Die came in second place, $33 million in its second weekend. Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes was third, followed by the Garfield movie and The Watchers for the total take. We're going to start with this. We should have a clip sent over. Gordon Ramsay is speaking out about the importance of wearing a helmet after he survived a serious bicycling accident in Connecticut earlier this week. The 57-year-old celeb chef shared the news in an Instagram video on Saturday that featured him lifting up his shirt to reveal a dark purple bruise streaked across a large portion of his left side and ribs. So let me roll this clip of him here.
Honestly, you've got to wear a helmet. I don't care how short the journey is. I don't care, the fact that these helmets cost money, but they're crucial. Even with the kids, a short journey, they've got to wear a helmet.
He said, I'm lucky to be here after this.
You see that bruise, and you can believe that.
He said, from those incredible trauma surgeons, doctors, nurses at the hospital that looked after me this week, they were amazing, but honestly, you've got to wear a helmet.
He said for a brief period, he was so shaken up by the accident, he believed that you could make a cucumber turn into a zucchini.
No.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
We know somebody who believed that. So he's an avid cyclist, and he said he's still in pain after it. He said it's been a brutal week, and I'm sort of getting through it. And then he showed the injuries. He said, I cannot tell you the importance of wearing a helmet. And alongside the video, he shared a snapshot of himself dressed in his gear before the bike ride, and then an after image of his tattered cycling outfit and shredded helmet.
It's pretty bad.
He addressed the extent of his injuries in the post caption, and he wrote, I'm doing okay and did not break any bones or suffer any major injuries, but I'm a bit bruised up looking like a purple potato.
He was joined by Gary Busey in the PSA as well, Preston.
Well, do you remember Bono had a really bad bike accident in Central Park?
Yes, he was in the hospital for a while. So if you haven't seen the footage of Ramsay, it is a huge, deep purple bruise. Have you ever had a bruise of that level, Preston? Because I had.
Yeah.
After the prostate surgery, my whole midsection was that, and you're looking at that, go, how's that ever going to fade? But it reabsorbs back into the body.
I'm curious as to what led to the crash?
It doesn't say. It just said he had an accident. So
a muskrat ran out in front of his bike.
A muskrat?
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Well, I mean, listen, it really doesn't take much. And a lot of times there's no warning. You just go down like a ton of bricks. So I'm always curious. Yeah.
He said, I'm thankful for all the doctors, nurses, and staff at Lawrence Memorial Hospital in New London who worked after me and checked me out. So he's doing better, but it was a close call for him. Joe Alwyn has finally spoken about the end of his relationship with Taylor Swift.
You've always been confused about this, and you have confided to me many times you don't know how the Joe Alwyn-Taylor Swift relationship ended.
Listen, they dated for roughly 6 years.
I know.
Starting back in 2016.
You would often bring that up in our conversation.
I would. You and I had many private moments where we would spend some time talking about this.
And that was a caveat that we had. That's any time, day or night, if you need to talk, you call about the Joe Alwyn Taylor Swift relationship.
So sitting down for an interview with the Sunday Times, Joe reflected on how he and Taylor worked to keep their relationship relatively private and all the attention it's gotten since they broke up. He said there's always going to be a gap between what is known and what is said.
He's so correct.
I have made my peace with that. And he also didn't confirm or deny if he had listened to Swift's newest album, The Tortured Poets Society. Some Swifties think that she reflects on their relationship in the song The Black Dog and So Long London. He said, I would hope that anyone and everyone can empathize and understand the difficulties that come with the end of a long, loving, fully committed relationship.
He also announced his new line of jerky products.
He also shared that it's been somewhat weird dealing with all the attention after staying private so long. He said, what is unusual and abnormal in this situation is that 1 week later, it's suddenly in the public domain and the outside world is able to weigh in on it.
So we talked about this before. If you're Travis Kelce, how much does that hang over you in how you're conducting your relationship?
Yeah, that the potential
you know what I'm
to,
saying?
like, all of your secrets are then going to, because I was wondering that about, like, all right, a lot of times people can have you sign an NDA, right?
Right.
So, all right, we're in the beginning parts of this relationship, non-disclosure.
But this is
Can you like, hey, listen,
factors past that, right?
Yeah.
I mean, everything. Even how do you, if you say things start to go south, and you have to come up with a master plan to ease out of that relationship and cross every T and dot every I, because you might get a triple album out of that.
Casey, are you saying that she signed some sort of an agreement that she is not allowed to write any songs about him?
Either that or let's share the profits. You know what I mean? Like some sort of a profit
If I'm going to get burned, let me make some cash off of it.
It's not a bad, and she's got plenty, so maybe. I don't know. All right, speaking of cash, listen to this story. Billy Ray Cyrus claims in court documents that his estranged wife, Fire Rose.
Fire Rose.
That's her. That's all one word, by the way.
Wow.
Her name. He claims that Fire Rose charged $96,986.05 on his credit card between May 23rd and June 7th. That's over $6,000 a day for 16 days.
Sounds like your Target bill, Cat.
The filing claimed that Fire Rose spent the money via 37 unauthorized charges.
Jeez.
She allegedly used his business American Express card, which he says that she was never approved to handle.
So that was credit card fraud.
Yep.
Then.
Well, according to him, Cyrus asked a judge to grant an emergency restraining order to prevent his ex from using that card and others. He also requested that she be ordered to pay the money back. Now, Fire Rose fired back her own filing, saying she's had access to several of his cards since they moved in together in 2022, and that she never had any limit. She also said that she should be able to use their marital money while they're still legally wed to support her established lifestyle.
Her Fire Rose's established lifestyle.
That is correct.
Would we know Fire Rose from anything other than being married to, at some point, him?
Not really. No, she doesn't have much of an online presence, but I did find her Instagram account, and 4 photos back is their wedding photo, and it was edited 3 weeks ago. So I don't know where things stand now, but she has not deleted any of the wedding photos.
Yeah.
I can't tell. Does she have blue eyes? Did like one blow this way, one blew that way? I can't, it looks like she's got like
a Marty Feldman thing going on? Thyroid stuff? Possibly. Maybe that's what attracted him to her.
Yeah.
Her Marty Feldman look.
Maybe he likes a lazy eye.
Yeah.
No, I don't think she has a lazy eye case. It might have been one photo.
Do you have a
there,
snaggletooth too?
I don't know. So anyhow, he says that she went crazy with the credit card, and that was enough to push him to say,
it gave him an achy breaky heart.
No way.
Achy breaky card.
Could work that way too. Armie Hammer sat down with the Painful Lessons podcast recently to reflect on how his life has changed over the last few years and those cannibal accusations that he had to deal with a few years ago. Overall, he says the whole thing was ridiculous, but he's apparently grateful for how it changed his life. And I think that's what this clip refers to.
Yeah.
So here we go.
I'm actually now at a place where I'm really grateful for it, because where I was in my life before all of that stuff happened to me, I didn't feel good. I never felt satisfied. I never had enough. I never was in a place where I was happy with myself, where I had self-esteem.
I can tell you, that's a flat-out lie. Yeah. There's no way he's thrilled about the cannibal thing. If you watch the documentary about him on, I think it's Hulu, where they talk to people in his life, he's got this way of sort of sociopathically finessing things. And like they say, when people go into rehab or recovery, they develop a spiel, an ability to tell people around them what they want to hear. Like, I didn't realize I was this, and now I do realize.
Yeah.
The actor says that before he had to deal with the world thinking that he ate people.
And by the way, during this entire interview, he is literally gnawing on a human femur.
Wow. No, he said before he had to deal with the world thinking he ate people. He was kind of empty, he said, like a black hole. Dealing with the accusations and all the fallout from it apparently helped him grow as a person, and he had to learn to love himself.
So you remember, and he has not denied this. He had wanted to brand lovers. He wanted to taste their flesh. This is in the kind of sexual play that he was doing with these women. So it's not like it's without foundation.
Well, here's another kinky thing. Theo James.
hell?
has clearly ended up on some crappy first dates because the guy said that he once went out with a girl who ended up taking a dump in his bathtub.
Oh, my God.
Now, in some countries, is that the first step of courtship?
It might be.
Yeah.
Might be a culture that I'm not familiar with.
He took a dump in my tub. He likes me.
The actor recently sat down with Entertainment Weekly for a panel discussion and played two truths and a lie. And he had said a woman once left him a brown reminder of their time together. And the way Theo tells the story, it was back during his university days, and he and this girl hit the town before heading back to his place where they had some fun. Theo says that his lady friend left in the morning, but when he went to his bathroom, he found a gift waiting for him in his bathtub.
What the hell?
It was a small turd, as he puts it.
Joe, she left me a turd.
Is
Theo,
it because she was mad at him?
I don't know.
Or that's her way of saying, I like you.
Thank you.
Theo says that he thought the date went well, so he was a bit miffed to find out what she left behind.
You never left an upper decker in some guys?
No, in their bathtub? No,
Yeah.
no, Steve, I never did that.
Kathy, is there ever a scenario where it's
Where I
okay?
would?
No. Where you would say it's okay for somebody to take a dump in a bathtub?
No, no.
No scenario.
There's one that I could
No.
think of. If you are, and it's happened, if people are dramatically morbidly obese, like Walter,
Oh.
they cannot use a conventional
Oh,
toilet.
seriously?
Walter Hudson, one of the, and I know this is true of many people who have been had to be flat bedded out of their homes. You can't use a regular toilet.
That is-
Yeah.
Wait,
No,
and
it's-
what do they do?
They
Like
crap in
scoop-
the tub
and then scoop it
and
out?
wash it down. Yeah.
Oh, my.
Kathy, we all do know somebody who, it wasn't a bathtub. Now, technically, she dumped in the toilet, but it wouldn't flush. And she was kind of like new with this guy, and they were having drinks at his house with other people, and
You
the
know this
toilet wouldn't
person?
flush. We know, and I'll tell you guys off air. So the toilet wouldn't flush, so she literally scooped the poop out of the toilet with her bare hands.
Wow.
And then put it into the trash can.
That's love.
Yeah, put it in the trash can and then covered it up with like a whole bunch of other trash and
I
stuff.
mean, it's going to...
You're eventually going to find that.
Yes.
You're actually maybe going to find it, but maybe you can blame it on somebody else that was in the apartment at the time.
Whether was it at a party or something?
Yeah,
or?
it was.
Okay.
They were
All right.
pre-gaming at this person's house.
Jace pooped in the tub once when he was very little, and I got him out of the tub. I showered him. I put him to bed, and I went to bed, and I left it in there for Dennis to clean it.
Oh my God! Of course you did.
That actually makes me feel better about things.
Okay.
About the amount of children in my house that just step over things, and I'm like, oh, you didn't see that? You didn't see the dog vomit that you? Okay.
By the way, so no word on how he finished the Hershey's or how he fished the Hershey's Kiss out of the bath, but it sounds like he's still laughing about it all these years. He recently had another story, though. He said that he actually had a bottle of urine thrown at him while on stage playing with his band one time.
He's getting all the good experiences.
Not a lot of
just
not
needs
a
vomit.
luck in that department. On King Charles's third official birthday as a king, all eyes were on Kate, the Princess of Wales. Kate made her return to the public eye on Saturday as part of the Trooping the Colour ceremony, her first official appearance since she revealed her cancer diagnosis earlier this year. On drizzling Saturday morning in London, she was seen smiling in a horse-drawn carriage with her 3 children as the procession made its way from Buckingham Palace to Horse Guards Parade. Prince Louis was captured waving to the crowds from the carriage window.
Hello.
Kate was later seen on the balcony at Buckingham Palace with Prince William, Charles,
Everyone having a wonderful morning this morning.
and Queen Camilla there as well. The annual military ceremony celebrates the British monarch's official birthday, with Charles also in attendance after his cancer diagnosis. So,
By the way, I know many of you inquire as to whether or not Camilla's wearing a ghillie suit. No, that's just the way she looks.
wow. This is interesting. Stranger Things star Noah Schnapp is only 19, but he's already been kicked out of at least one nightclub over the weekend. He let the party get out of hand at a New York City nightclub, the Palace, allegedly bugging patrons who paid for bottle service to take tequila shots with him and his entourage. And according to eyewitnesses, Schnapp allegedly became angry after clubgoers refused to participate with him, eventually ending up with security escorting him out around 1:30 in the morning. Those same eyewitnesses add that after getting kicked out of the Palace, Schnapp was clearly unable to stand and ended up leaving the area around 2 a.m. No word from his reps or the actor himself.
Better not screw up the shooting schedule on Stranger Things.
Yeah, but he's 19.
Yeah.
He's out at a nightclub.
Uh-huh.
Obviously, he's doesn't quite know how to handle the booze as of yet, so I think he just kind of overdid it and ended up making an ass out of himself. That happens. It happens.
Yeah.
All right, let me see. How about this one? Hulk Hogan has set his sights on a new opponent. The WWE Hall of Famer revealed he's willing to run for president of the United States.
Hulk Hogan?
Yes, Hulk Hogan.
Wow. Imagine that.
He claims the country needs a leader who has some common sense. He didn't definitively say if that was a shot at Joe Biden or Donald Trump. But he said, we need somebody in there that has some common sense. You know what I'm saying? So
I'm right behind you, Hulk.
So
You're looking for a VP?
So if you need a president or vice president, I'll volunteer and I'll take this country over and I'll rule with an iron fist.
All right.
A flat tax. Nothing but common sense. I know right from wrong, brother. That's what he said.
All right.
Hogan, who just launched his own beer company called Real American Beer, wants citizens of this country to unite regardless of their political views. He said, we are much more alike than we are different.
I just played the audio of his that sexual encounter where he talks about being bloated.
I feel like such a pig. Yeah.
All right, I'll have sex with your wife. I feel like a fat pig.
He said, I just thought this is so much bigger than politics because if you can't communicate and you can't talk, you're not going to get anywhere with your discussions, your decisions, or with people getting along.
Well, last week, the Pope met with all those comedians. This week, he's meeting with professional wrestlers.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Whole series of
Great to meet you, brother.
Professional wrestlers. I did have one unfortunate death to bring you guys up to speed on a guy named Nick Mavar Jr. He was a deckhand for the FV Northwestern, who was featured on Deadliest Catch over the course of 15 years. He was 59 years old. He died on Thursday in Naknek, Alaska, following a medical emergency. A longtime fisherman whose legal name is Nicola Mavar Jr. was pronounced dead after he was transported to a medical facility. I don't know what happened.
I did remember this guy, and obviously when they are out, they were out at sea when it happened, right? I mean, that was the case. They couldn't get
it doesn't
that
say.
right. Yeah.
Okay.
It just says a medical emergency. 15 years after making his debut in season 2, his final appearance on the Emmy-nominated show was in season 17, which aired in 2021. So I'm going to guess no. Well, at least not on the show. I don't know if he's still a professional fisherman or not. In December 2022, Mavar, who served under Captain Sig Hansen, sued his employer, FV Northwestern. Allegedly, he was seriously and permanently injured when he suffered a ruptured appendix while on board the ship following a time period of repeated reports of pain and discomfort. He claimed his employer was negligent in failing to obtain timely medical care that would have prevented the rupture. A cancerous tumor was later found to be growing inside his appendix, he had claimed.
A lot of times when you perform surgery out on one of these boats, you can use the crabs as sutures.
Oh.
Yeah.
All right.
Got to do what you got to do. All right, and then one last story. Miles Teller, who played Bradley Rooster Bradshaw in Top Gun Maverick, is once again pursuing the life of a naval aviator in the upcoming remake of An Officer and a Gentleman.
Interesting.
The 1982 film starred Richard Gere as Zach Mayo, a raw recruit navigating love and career as he aspires to be a U.S. Navy pilot. The original movie starred also Louis Gossett Jr., Deborah Winger, and David Keith, and received 6 Oscar nods, by the way.
So in this remake, they're going to go in a slightly different angle. They're going to include the Minions, which I think is going to make it an interesting angle.
It's a proven, ticket seller.
Are you an Officer and a Gentleman fan in general?
Yeah, very much so.
Yeah.
I love that movie. Teller will assume the Gere role, and no date is set for production to begin.
Who's Louis Gossett? Who are you going to do that?
Yeah.
I mean, you need a dynamo.
Yes, you do, because he was amazing in that movie.
Though he wouldn't do it, you would need not a Wesley Snipes. You need a Denzel.
Oh, Denzel Washington. Oh, my God, yes. All right, so we're ready to roll the clips. Let's do that. In the books, Lady Bela Targaryen. Oh, my God, I should know this. I'm a fan of
yes,
Game of
you
Thrones.
are.
Does not get involved in the Dance of the Dragons until much later on in the story, but writers have taken creative liberties for House of Dragon. And here, Bethany Antonia talks about her favorite part of season 2.
The highlight for me this season was, I think, getting to ride my dragon for the first time. It was wild. And unlike anything I thought it was going to be, it was so much fun, so unglamorous, so painful.
Oh, shut up, woman.
House of Dragon airs Sunday on HBO, by the way.
Have you jumped in yet to House of the Dragon?
Well, yeah, I watched the whole first season.
Oh, you did? Okay, yeah.
And it's good.
Yes.
It's really, really good. Absolutely. All right, next clip. Riley has hit teenage years, and just as her emotions catch up, headquarters is demolished to make way for new feelings in Inside Out. And here, Lewis Black explains the art of making anger funny.
Anger is like scoring a piece of music when you're dealing with it as performance. It's really something that's got all sorts of levels from time to time, and it's great in terms of the fact that you can kind of approach it as like you're being really calm, and then you just snap, which always, and it's something that everybody feels and doesn't express, and that's part of the hook that I had as a comic.
Inside Out 2 is in theaters now. It did huge, as we said earlier, at the box office. I can't wait to see it. We did not go see it this weekend, but I want to get out and see it as soon as possible. Yeah. All right, that is our entertainment report for this June 17th, a Monday morning, friend, and happy to deliver it for you. All right, we are going to take a break. Don't forget, we're going to get you the special, Preston and Steve, Day Off at Dorney, word of the day. We'll tell you how to enter it. You could possibly win yourself a 4-pack of tickets for the event, which is coming up on July 11th. So we'll take a break. We'll come back in just a moment. Stay with us, my friend.
Thanks for having me. This place is fancy.
Thank you, sir.
We try.
Yeah.
Not by our own doing. They just gave it to us.
You have so many lights. Are you guys hot in here?
We wanted to make you feel, you love being on stage. I was reading you love touring. It never gets old to you.
No. I also love that you have an enormous 10 by 10 picture of me on the wall. Just as I request, I'm not doing the interview unless there's an enormous photograph of my face. Is everyone looking at it?
Barnes, I'm excited to become more familiar with your music. As I said at the top, I am not, but 3 things that I know you can do. You can sing, you can play, and you can write. And I'm very impressed with your vocal capability. So I was reading up a little bit on you. And I had read, I think it was where, as a younger musician, you wanted to really try to have a high range when you sang, but you felt that you were kind of forcing it, and then you settled into what was more natural to you.
Yeah, well, I mean, from a young age, my father used to lock me in the coal shed until I could produce notes of a certain pitch so that I could sing for halfpennies on the streets of Ipswich, where I spent my youth.
Wow.
Really?
And it was like...
There's a movie in there. Yeah.
Sorry, that's a complete lie.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, I was super...
You were the youngest of 15.
It was very difficult. My father was a cold and calculated man. He used to brush my hair from the left-hand side every morning as he would mutter insults under his breath.
Wow. That's just a tragic life.
I like you a lot.
It's that tragic tale that really led to my music. And
oh my God! What an inspiring story. There's a movie from Disney in this.
Yes. Originally, you're from London?
I'm from just outside Aylesbury, but I grew up in Seattle, so
Okay.
I missed out on the sexy accent.
Oh,
I can put it on though if I need to.
But you have an appreciation of coffee.
I do. I do like coffee. I like being awake and cognizant of the world.
We're going to London next week. We're doing our show from there, and for most of it, it's a first time in London. And do you ever go back? I mean, do you still have family there?
No, I'm not allowed back.
You're not allowed back anymore.
Not since the accident, no.
Yeah. Oh, man.
I mean, but I don't want to talk about it here, you know.
I understand.
You burned down the Courtney estate.
We don't want to pry.
Yeah, they are not fans of me in the Courtney Manor anymore.
Courtney Manor.
Courtney Manor. And on the 4th day, on the 5th moon, young Barnabas did burn down the Courtney Manor. And the stuffed giraffes were ruined. All the children cried in their nightgowns.
Wow.
I love it.
This
and
is
then he fled to
fantastic.
Seattle.
Yeah. Okay, I don't even know where to go.
I don't need, to be honest, I've really digressed away from...
It's all good. I appreciate it. Some people don't say anything. I love
Yeah,
this stream
no,
of
this-
consciousness that we're getting from you.
We'll take this, absolutely.
By the way, you have an accompaniment here. This is Agam is your keyboard player.
This is a gum. I don't actually know him, but he seemed pretty nice. He's got his own Casio.
Right. What are you guys going to play for us?
I'm going to play 99, which is my new single, Shameless Plug, Shameless Plug. And I guess I'll just play it now.
I'll introduce you.
Sorry, I was gonna.
You were rambling on for
so
a moment.
used to introducing myself.
No. He'll be playing tonight, ladies and gentlemen, at the Fillmore, and this is 99 from Barnes, Courtney on MMR.
Hot, strong, young and dumb, yeah, we had no fear. Way back when we said we'd both be millionaires. Now those days are over, and we're all ghosts. We used to sleep all day, talk all night, stay up by the TV light, oh. When your baby teeth ain't milky white, wipe the stardust from your eyes, oh. Said, come on, love, we'll be just fine. We're gonna live just like it's 1999. In 1990. In 1999. In 1990. 1999. Back then we were trading cars behind the swings. Oh no, now it's money, gold and diamond rings. Now those days are over, and we're all ghosts. We used to sleep all day, talk all night, stay up by the TV light, oh. Wipe the stardust from your eyes, oh. Said, come on, love, we'll be just fine. We're gonna live just like it's 1999. In 1990. In 1999. In 1990. 1999, oh no, where does it go? Well, whatever, fill your body up with chemicals. Oh no, kaleidoscopes. Well, whatever, living better in 1990. In 1999. In 1990. In 1999.
Yeah, man. Wow. Another Philadelphia legend. We played this audio a little while back, but I have seen a few texts and emails coming in if we could play back the audio. This was former Mayor Frank Rizzo.
Legendary.
At the time.
An old style, two-fisted mayor. Mm-hmm. Really worked well with the press.
He was approached by a reporter out on the street, and it led to this audio. It's priceless here.
Creep. Get away from me.
Would you answer the question?
You know, you hide behind that press card.
I'm not hiding behind anything, sir. I just wanted to get some answers.
I'll tell you what to do. There's a gang of yous here. There's enough of you here. By myself, I'll take yous physically.
What about asking you to take me physically?
Well, get away from me.
Well,
I'll take you sexually too. I'll take you physically and sexually, and you'll hate it in one part and you'll love it in the other, and you'll be forever sworn to me your allegiance out of the love of the passion I'll deliver to you, all of yous.
He starts heading down a path he can't back off of.
I will do things to you that no woman's ever done, and you will ask for it to be done again, is how good you will feel at the end of these sexual acts I will levy upon you and your entire team. I don't care, and it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what comes out of it. I'm putting stuff in it, and I'm going to tell you something. You're going to love it.
Wow. I got two hands. I got
two
mouth.
hands. I have full working genitals. I have all sorts. And in my, you stay right here because my house is right over there, and I have so many lubricants. It's going to blow your mind, and you will be crying in pain and then laughing in joy. Is what will happen. There'll be things you will not believe it's happening while it's happening, because you will never have an orgasm as powerful as what you will soon be delivered in that alleyway down there.
Well, this certainly took a turn, Mayor.
I do not want to have sex with you. I am not.
That's how he could have gotten rid of the guy, right?
Let's just go. Let's go.
Just saying. Fellas, pack it up.
Enjoy your walk, sir.
All right.
From me.
Well, sir, I'm on the public street. I should be authorized to be here.
I'll break it over your head. I'll break it over your head. Get away from me, you crumb. That's a challenge, except I'll put my dog away and I'll come back. And you got 1, 2, 3. And I'll do it along with you. In that back of that fence. Just the 3.
Just like that. You don't even have to take all your pants off. You're just down by your knees. I'll get it done. It doesn't matter. You'll be begging for more, but I'll deny you on the third time. I'll leave you so frustrated your blue balls will explode. I'm telling you this.
Oh, my God. Hang on. That one.
There was a line? There was a line? All right.
I did that for you.
Oh, my God.
There you go.
Dude, I can't believe you just said that.
I had to.
I know. Oh, God. All right, let me continue on.
And I'll do it along with you. In that back of that fence. Just the 3 of us, 4 of us, me and you.
Okay. I mean, honestly,
Sounds like, right?
Just that isolated.
Yeah. And here's how it's going to work. I'll be with 2 of you at once, and the other 2 can watch. And then like tag team wrestling, you'll tag your hands, and they'll come in, I'll start doing the other 2.
Eiffel Tower?
Yeah, Eiffel Tower. And then I'm going to put some saran wrap over your face. You ever hear of a hot Carl?
But let me put my dog back first.
Yeah, my dog, I got to put my dog back in.
Just joining us, that is Barnes Courtney, who's going to be playing at the Fillmore tonight. Tickets available at the FillmorePhilly.com. So while you were playing that song, I spoke to Casey over here, our producer, Barnes, because
I was listening to me, but that's cool.
I was listening, but I had to take a moment.
So it's fine. It's fine. It's all right. You got to pay your dues. I get it.
No, I was listening to the keyboard sound that Agam was playing, and MF 93.3 WM. Wolfgang Van Halen. Name is I'm All Right. That's the song. 60 minutes after 7 o'clock. Welcome to Monday morning. Hot week. In case you do not know it, we got temps shooting up. They start to hit 90 today. 92, 93. Increasing by the time we get to Friday. 97 our high. Humidity levels going up as well. So just giving you a fair warning. Be ready for all of this. We're going to take a look at traffic, find out how we're moving. Kathy, what's up so far?
95 southbound jams from Cotman to the Betsy Ross Bridge, the Vine westbound, slowing 8th to Broad, the Ben Franklin Parkway to the Schuylkill eastbound, slowing from Montgomery into Spring Garden westbound, University to South Street, City to Belmont, and then again at the Conshohocken curve. 30 bypass eastbound, slows 322 to 113. In New Jersey, volume building on 42 north, Coles Road to 55, 55 northbound from Deptford to 42, and then in Mapleshade, Route 73 at Route 90, the traffic light's not working. This traffic report brought to you by BQ Basements and Concrete. Now Groundworks, your expert for basement waterproofing and foundation repair. Since 1997, book your free inspection at groundworks.com. And that's your traffic on 93.3 WMMR.
Thanks, Kath. I just got an email from our promotions director, Eric Simon, and he said that we will have a total from the, I believe, the Preston and Steve blood drive later on today, which means we'll reveal the information tomorrow morning. I got this email I'd like to share. This is from Janet Ethan, and she said, thank you so much again for hosting the Preston and Steve blood drive. While you guys were at the drive, my daughter is now getting her monthly donation of blood. Wow. I wrote and thanked you last year and wanted to send my appreciation for the drive again this year. WMMR and its listeners rock for showing the support for donations. Summertime, the donations run low, and by doing this, you are showing awareness for the great gift of blood, so thank you again. So right there.
There you go. Perfect
example of people who need, absolutely require that, and thank you so much for participating. We went to the location at Live Casino later on in the day, and it was really cool there. Yeah. And it was humming. Traffic was so fun too.
Oh, that was the best part.
Oh, wasn't that fun? Dude, it took me an hour and a half to get home.
No. Oh, really?
It took a little over an hour to get there. Yeah. It took an hour and a half to get home. It was
honestly, you're looking in multiple directions. Like, and why here? Yeah. Why this point? Why this curve? What stopped? What's happening?
I know. But nonetheless, thank you to everybody who went through all the hassle of maybe some traffic or taking the extra time to be a part of the blood drive. It was awesome.
Yeah.
It was such a great showing, so we do appreciate all of that. And I got to recap the Pickle Festival.
We got the Pickle Festival and the blood drive. Yeah, so a whole bunch of stuff. Yeah.
But right now, my mind is reeling. It's,
My mind
yes,
is a raging torrent, flooded with rivulets of thought, cascading into a waterfall of creative alternatives.
Yes.
The stream of consciousness, nerd.
Yes, friends. When my mind becomes overloaded, I need to purge. And I will do that with a variety of things to tell you about. I wanted to bring this up. I love this. According to new research, more than half of 2,000 respondents, it's well more than half, 62%, believe that it is high time to officially create second breakfast to be officially recognized as a meal.
So it's in honor of the Hobbit eating schedule.
Yes.
Second breakfast.
Yes. And Levensies. And all of the other ones that came along with it. But yes.
All a bunch of little fat pricks.
In fact, the average American polled said that they partake in second breakfast at least once a week.
Wow, really?
And they don't just eat it for pleasure, as 70% of the respondents say they feel more energized after having second breakfast. The study conducted by
Why don't you jam some more food into your maw, you little bastard?
Conducted by one poll on behalf of Dave's Killer Bread, also found the breakfast foods far and away are America's favorite genre of food.
It's excellent. Honestly, having the breakfast meal for dinner, always a big thrill.
Yeah.
At the 11sies point, that would be probably considered on the early side of brunch, which would be a brunch classification. I think it's usually noon to 2 usually,
something like that. Yeah.
Okay, so that meal, then maybe there's a place for the creation of that.
Yeah. You mentioned breakfast for dinner, Steve, and as a kid, it was such a treat. As an adult, I'm like, oh, my parents were phoning it in. That, you know what I mean? Like, I thought they were just doing us something nice. It was like, no,
we don't have anything else.
Scrambled eggs for dinner, absolutely.
We got nothing else in the pantry right now. Hey, breakfast for dinner.
Jace can't do breakfast for dinner.
He can't do it, huh?
It just doesn't
Doesn't make sense to him.
It doesn't make sense to him. He's like, why would we eat pancakes for dinner?
Wow.
Yeah. So we've literally, I think I tried it once and he refuses. He's like, no, it doesn't make sense. I don't want to do it.
He is you.
He literally is me. It's weird.
No, we haven't, in my household, we haven't done it in a long, long time, but that was always a special night when we would have pancakes and eggs and bacon and all the trappings of a great breakfast.
Breakfast, 11sies.
But oddly enough, they said that America's favorite genre of food is breakfast. Lunch is second place with 24%, and dinner was third place at 19%. I personally, I'm a dinner guy. I'm
a dinner guy as well.
I think that is my favorite meal of the day. I think it's where you can get a little more adventurous.
However, if you think about where, like the brunch scene, the breakfast scene, like even here on the weekend at different places, everyone's got their recommend. Not that they don't have recommendations for dinner places, but maybe there's a little bit of extra zeal on the breakfast side. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, maybe so.
Like brunch, if it says brunch, I'm like, yeah, I'm in. Like, I don't even know why, but I love it.
Well, brunch offers the best of the lunch and breakfast world, because sometimes there's like carving stations next to an omelet stand.
Yeah,
right. So I dig on that.
I had breakfast last weekend at First Watch, and Kathy, you never even heard of First Watch. I'm like, really? Because this, I felt like, as far as their menu is concerned, that's like right up your alley. It's a lot of like farm fresh stuff.
The only thing about brunches, though, is that, you pay a certain amount and then it's usually buffet style or station style or something like that. Mm-hmm. You feel the need to get your money's worth.
Yeah, totally.
And therefore, you absolutely gorge on everything.
You just nailed my issue with brunch, which is that. And we're going to brunch now. We're going to eat all the food on earth, and then we're going to be motionless for hours and then take a extraordinarily immense dump around 7 p.m.
One of the best brunches I've had, what is the name of the place? The Farmers in
Founding Farmers.
Founding Farmers.
Yes.
Kathy?
Dude. Where?
Right?
Yes.
Where?
It's in King of Prussia.
In the town center.
Wow.
Is it? Oh, wow.
It's like, that's a place where you're like, I have to get back up. I didn't get to try that.
Yes.
Oh, it's a buffet?
That's Ben's favorite restaurant.
It's kind of like a station, Casey.
Go up and get some more food.
They've got spots all over the place.
I want some of that.
And then they also come to your table with like special treats.
Yeah. They have this vanilla French toast that is just to die for. But they have all kinds of savory dishes like lunch and dinners type stuff along with the breakfast and desserts. And it's top notch, right? Yeah.
There was, so the Marshalloo has a brunch and I've been on to there a couple times. And at a certain point, you got to just tap out and go. Just, once you're by the chocolate fountain with the, it's like, I'm going to die. I'm going to eat to death.
So this poll also revealed that nearly half of Americans feel that they are not allowed to eat breakfast foods past 10:25 a.m.
Why 10:25?
I don't know. That's the official, I guess, unofficial breakfast cutoff time.
So when does McDonald's switch over its menu? I wonder if people are keying off that time.
It depends on the day.
Okay.
Some days it's 11, some days it's 10:30.
All right.
What's your cutoff time?
To when I will not have breakfast food. That is a good question.
I would say mine's like 11:45. Like like noon is then lunch for me.
I'd say 11. For some reason, 11 becomes lunch to me.
You would do brunch at noon, right?
Yeah, well, that's a different story.
Yeah.
Yeah, brunch is like up until, I'd say, like 2 o'clock. You can do brunch.
Okay.
Yeah.
And how much of it is fueled by margaritas?
The mimosas.
Yeah.
Bottomless mimosas are the two greatest words in the English language.
The study also ranked America's favorite breakfast foods. Oddly enough, bacon didn't even make it in the top 3. So here it is, according to this particular study that was done. Number 1 are eggs. 58%. Number 2, sausage.
Where are the sausages?
Followed by number 3, toast.
Yeah, I love
I'm a
it.
good I'm a toast fan.
You know
I'm
what?
a toast fan. Yeah.
You too?
Rye bread, rye toast.
Buttered toast, buttered rye bread.
Yeah.
Rye bread.
Oh, man.
I like peanut butter on toast.
Peanut butter because it melts.
Puts a little honey on top of his peanut butter.
You're
That's a little bonus.
Talking my language.
Yeah.
It's funny. Claire made a bacon. We had some people over last weekend, relatives, and she incinerated the turkey bacon.
Oh.
And so she said, I'm going to get rid of that. I go, no.
Then you have pancakes at number 4, followed by bacon cereal.
Bacon cereal?
No, not bacon. Those are 2 different ones. Fresh fruit, oatmeal, home fries.
I love oatmeal.
And donuts.
You left out, though, one of my breakfast musts, the parfait, to quote our the parfaits, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Kath, what are your feelings on like chia seeds?
Oh, yeah. I eat them every day in my overnight oats.
I had no idea how great they were because I had a chia seed like bowl the other day.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not like a huge fan of quinoa, so I was a little bit worried that
I love quinoa.
Yeah.
It doesn't really change the flavor. It just changes the texture a little bit.
I was down with it.
By the way, my Casey, you were talking about phoning it in.
Yeah.
The biggest phone it in food for me is cereal.
Yeah.
Cereal.
And I will have it like Saturday and Sunday. I don't really feel like putting in any effort at all. The most thing I'll do is cut up a banana and throw that in with some Cheerios or something like that. And that's it. And that's my full-on phone it in breakfast. Gets it done.
Did you know that our very own Ryan Shuttleworth, who is stepping up from Marissa Magnata, their restaurant in Narberth won Best Brunch? Best suburban brunch.
No.
He owns a restaurant?
I didn't know he owns a restaurant.
Philly Mag, we've talked about it a couple times.
Please tell us. Please illuminate us.
It's called Ryan Christopher's. It's right in Narberth. And a few years back in Philly Mag, they won Best Suburban Brunch.
Ryan, wait, is that named after you?
It is indeed, yes.
Shut up!
Only child, only grandchild. Landslide victory.
Yeah.
Did you ever work there?
Oh, yeah, I still do. Yeah, 15 years. It's, excuse me, it's me, my mom, and my grandparents.
And so there was a fire a few months ago, and so they had a whole bunch of insurance issues, and took a long time for them to reopen. They finally reopened, so I don't mind at all giving this place a plug. Steve, it's great.
What's on the brunch menu?
A little bit of everything. So, you got your standard egg stuff, you got your Benedict's things, and my grandfather, who's our chef, is just a wizard, so whatever he comes up with, he'll just throw on.
And these are all like family recipes?
Yes, family recipes. I don't know any of the secrets. I'm too afraid to ask them myself. So, but yeah, we do brunches on Sundays from 9 to 2.
And Ryan, weren't you saying off air that coworkers get bottomless mimosas for free?
Well, we're BYOB, so I'll supply that for you.
All right, dude, we got to come by.
Yeah, please.
Excellent. All right, nice. And what's the exact location?
So it is 245 Woodbine Avenue in Narberth, Pennsylvania. So a couple blocks over from here.
Yeah, right down
I
the
wonder
street.
if Bill Weston's ever gone over there. Has Bill Weston?
He's been over there a couple
All
times.
right. There we
Awesome.
go. He's
Excellent.
He's
All
an
right.
Arbuthian.
Ryan Shuttleworth at Ryan Christopher's, named after him.
About that.
That's huge.
I don't have a restaurant.
All right. So I thought you guys would find second breakfast interesting. That a lot of people are fans of that. So, all right, we'll move on to something else.
Now
here.
I'm hungry.
All right.
The stream of consciousness nerd.
All right, here's a story that came out last week. I didn't get a chance to go to touch on it, but going to Disney may be a dream vacation for families, but it doesn't come cheap. Just buying the tickets to get in a theme park is obviously super pricey these days.
It's insane.
And then there's the hotel and airfare and transportation on top of that. So it's not surprising that new research shows nearly half of parents are going into debt to take the kids on a Disney vacation.
They have that that savings plan now that you can do exclusively for Disney vacations. I've seen it, Steve. They air it. There's
it's
a
like a
commercial
Christmas
for it.
club?
No, they air the commercial during like a Jeopardy and Wheel, and so it's literally setting aside time and money to because you know you're going to go to Disney this year, and the only thing that you're saving for is one of their vacations.
It's wild.
Wow, that's actually a pretty great idea.
It's a great marketing idea.
Yeah.
We're so expensive, you can set up a specific account.
I mean, kind of.
Yeah.
Let's face it, no one can afford a trip to Disney until now.
According to
Sign up for our 20-year plan, and you might get there by the time your kids are driving.
So according to a new Lending Tree survey of 2,000 adults, 24% of all Disney goers have racked up debt during their trips there. But that goes up to 45% for parents of kids under the age of 18.
It's the happiest place on earth.
And it is not an insignificant amount of money. The average amount of debt for those parents is just under $2,000. Lending Tree reports that a stay at Disney's resort hotels for 2 adults and 2 kids costs as much as $1,079 a night. If you want to stay on property.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
Do most people recommend, when you guys went, and you obviously, everybody, I have not been to Disney World. I've been to Disneyland. Would you recommend staying off premises, or is there a lot to be gleaned from staying on premises?
It depends on what you want. So we stayed off because it was cheaper.
Okay.
But the perks that you get of staying on property are like regular shuttles and all the restaurants and things that are easily accessible.
Yeah, staying on with young kids. I mean, they're like monorail. You just roll the stroller on, and then you're at the park, and you roll the stroller off. So it's like convenience.
The hotels are fun too.
Yeah.
Are they?
Usually the staff the restaurants there have a theme to them, and the servers are in on some playful stuff, and so you get this added bit of entertainment.
They don't put on as much of a show at the Perkins.
I don't think so. So concessions broke the budget for a lot of families as well. 65% of those with Disney debt say that the in-park food and beverages cost significantly more than they planned. Of course, they got you. I mean, that's the way it's going to be. About half say transportation costs were higher than expected, and 47% said that it was accommodations. 3/4 of those polled said that their Disney trip did or will take 6 months to pay off. So it's big. And then, on top of it, the whole waiting in line thing is just, it's really, I mean, the park
it's a
itself,
crapshoot.
Just being there is pretty magical. But if you want to get on the rides and stuff, you have to be patient.
This is a magical line.
Yeah. So
much what is the best time of year to go?
Well, my brother, he's a vacation club member, and he loves the changeover from Halloween to Christmas.
They do it overnight, right, Case?
Yeah.
Yeah, but so is that the best time to go, or is that just because he likes to go and see
I mean, as far as crowds are concerned, I think your best time to go
There is no best time.
Well, the first week of school.
First week of school?
Yeah. Because everybody's done, less people are taking vacations during that first week of school.
All right.
Well, but theirs is different than ours down in Florida, right? So their first week or our first week?
Well, you got to figure a lot of people going to Disney World are not Floridians. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. So our first week of school.
yeah, those first couple of weeks are probably a good window where you're going to get a little bit of a lesser crowd, but it's still... You're still going to get a crowd.
Yep.
By the way, listen to this text. It says, just went to Disney. First time as head of household. Family of 3 cost me $12,000.
$12
Yeah, I
grand.
believe it.
This person says, I worked extra shifts for 2 years and paid in full, no debt, and I'm proud of myself.
Oh, God bless you.
It's so crazy.
You need to have a little sit-down meeting with the kids beforehand.
Who's not going to college?
And explain exactly the levels at what we're talking.
Now, Jimmy, you're just not a learner. So you are going to be paying for our trip to Disney.
And Disney changed, I forget what they called it, but the pass were like a fast pass, whatever it was called, then they don't have them anymore.
Do they have the concierge thing? Do they have that?
Yes, they do.
Okay.
Yeah.
Listen,
And it's super cheap. Just add it on to the tab.
Right. If you're going to explore these things, and obviously whatever the financial situation, but I've heard travel agents say this as well. If you can save up what it would cost you to get to that level, only because you can save up $12,000 and go and not get on half the rides because of the wait. Or, do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I told you guys, because we did it. We did the math, and it made sense of 1 day of doing that, of having a guide that takes you, and you get right on the rides. I did the math. It would have taken 3 days to get the experience that we had with them 1 day. And I'm like, okay, this is about the same amount of money.
Yes.
And we get less headaches. We get more fun time as opposed to idle time. And it just seemed to make a lot of sense.
And you tend not to think that way because you're going, I'm being overly extravagant and I'm being frivolous. No, you're not, because you will experience everything.
Yeah.
As much as you want.
Hang on. We got Robert on the line, works at Disney. Hey, Robert, good morning.
Hey, good morning, Ed. How you guys doing?
Good morning to see you, Robert. We're good. Do you still work there?
Yes, I do, and it was great seeing you guys when you guys were down here in Clearwater.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Of course.
Yes.
We know Robert.
Robert's an artist and works for a long time. Yeah.
Well, what do you want to jump in with, Robert?
Well, you guys were talking about doing like the VIP thing to where you guys can, just kind of go ahead of the line and all that. And then also you guys were talking about pricing earlier on that report, like it's $1,200 and something a day. And there's a bunch of different resorts here that actually can accommodate. I think if you want to stay at like one of the premier ones, it's going to be like $800 a night, or you can do one of the economy ones that is just as good, if not even more fun for kids. But what I was going to say is my wife and I have done the VIP one where you have a hostess take you around the park. I kind of don't recommend that because you're being shuttled around so quickly from ride to ride to ride. It's kind of, I would compare it to your wedding where it just flies by and you're like, what the hell just happened? You know?
I
like
that. I tend to just, for me, it was like, I felt more excited and less, all right, what are we going to encounter at the next one? How long is the line going to be at the next one? And so I was able to relax and enjoy things. What you might miss in some things, and you might agree with this, Robert, is that, and Preston, you'll remember this, is that the little thing that you would see in line as the pre-presentation, you might miss that.
Yep,
they
tried to keep you entertained while you're in line.
Yep.
But also the worst part is being in line and you're surrounded by a bunch of people.
That too, yes.
Hey, Robert, what about the outside companies that come in and get you on the rides? I mean, I'm sure Disney is not okay with it, but they got to know that exists.
I think they're cracking down on that a lot now. I think there was just a report lately that Disney's cracking down on that to where if there are companies and if you are caught with a third-party host, you will get escorted out.
Really?
So I don't recommend that. Do your research on that.
There was a business I saw, Kathy, that was advertising that they get you around the park and get you on all the rides, but you just had to keep a few balloons of cocaine in your stomach.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, be a drug mule.
Yeah, that's it. And then they would get you on all the rides.
Nice group.
All right, Robert, great to hear from you. Thanks, bud.
All right, take care, guys.
All right, see you later, man. All right, one last call, and then we're going to move on to another stream of consciousness. Brian, good morning.
Hey, how you guys doing?
Good, bud. All right, you had a tip on the best times to visit Disney.
Yes, it is at the last week in August to the first week in September.
Okay.
Schools in Florida are back in school, and everybody up here is going back into school, so there is no crowd. I vacationed down there for 30-some years that time of year. You don't have to buy fast passes for any of the parks.
Brian, could you do me a favor?
Nobody in the park.
So take a base level, and then what percentage reduction in capacity of the park would you guesstimate happens during that time?
It's easily well over half.
Wow.
I have pictures of us in Universal where it's just us in our shadows.
Wow. Okay, so
there's nobody. I went on Velocicoaster. We went on Velocicoaster. It was a 5-minute wait. The Avatar ride. It's usually like around a 200-minute wait. We went on it 6 times in a row. Just walked right
oh my
on.
God. All right, so this is end of August, beginning of September, you said?
End of August, beginning of September, and yes, it's hot, but it's really not much hotter down there than it is up here.
Yeah.
The only difference is 6 o'clock in the morning. The humidity smacks you right in the face.
Yeah. Yeah. All right,
it usually burns off around 9:30, and you're good to go.
That's a good trade-off.
Pick your rides, like the Steel Magnolias ride. No one goes on that.
No, exactly. You don't want to be
Terms of
sad like
endearment
that.
ride? No.
All right, thank you, Brian. Thought it was a happy place.
Sophie's Choice is a horrible ride.
By the way, you could just go to Dorney Park.
Yes!
Join us on July 11th for Preston and Steve's day off at Dorney. How about that? In a little while, we're going to get you the word for the day, so we'll get you set to possibly win a 4-pack of tickets.
Yep.
Cost you way less than going to that place down in FLA. All right, here, let's see what else we got here.
The stream of consciousness, nerd.
Let's see. Some of this stuff is really
crap.
Stupid. All right, I wanted to mention this. Kathy, you'll appreciate this. For a limited time, the U.S. State Department is allowing online passport renewals through a beta program so they can monitor and make adjustments based on performance and user feedback.
Well, can you give me that information specifically?
Is your passport due?
My passport's about to expire, and there's a chance. Also, do you need a passport to get into Canada?
I believe you do, yeah.
Okay, I didn't know if a license/birth certificate would do it.
That is a good question.
Well,
you may want to look that up.
Yeah, so when we went up to Niagara Falls, this is pre-pandemic, it had to have been 2019. Anyway, there were 4 of us. One of us didn't have their passport, and they were able to get through with a license, a birth certificate.
Okay.
I wonder also if it's if you're driving or flying, because I flew and you needed a passport.
All right, yeah, this would be driving.
The system is only available for a limited time each day. Plus, there is a limit to the number of daily applications accepted, and you have to meet certain criteria, like being 25 years old and having a current or recently expired passport. Users also can't be traveling out of the country in the next couple of months because the turnaround is not any quicker than the mail-in process.
Oh, okay. Well,
expedited processing is not an option.
I'll tell you this, Nick. I renewed mine for the trip that we took, that river cruise, and everything was pretty good. I mean, everything. I got it back.
Did you do it all through the mail?
All through the. I went to the post office.
Yeah, okay.
And then I got it, and it wasn't more than just a couple of weeks. It was actually very manageable.
The last time I did it was a decade ago, and so that's why it expires this year. And we had to go out to Downingtown to do it. At the post office there, for whatever reason, it seemed like they were ready to do it. And
right,
you could do the photo there and the whole nine. I don't think every post office allows for it.
No, we actually. Well, so what we did is we went to the post office, and we had to go to like a Rite Aid around the corner and get there.
The pictures.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's like it's where the appointments are too, Nick. Like you probably found an open appointment in Downingtown. But wait, are you doing this in a couple weeks, Canada?
No, in a couple weeks is the drive to Colorado.
Right, okay. So I was going to say, because Canada's no joke. Like I have a friend who
a lot of Canadians
is going through like a pardon process. He had like, when he was younger, some like, he had like weed on him and he got charged, and his family does a Canadian trip every summer and he can never go. His wife and kids go and he can't go. So he's going through a process to have
it's you.
To have that taken off his record because Canada doesn't let you in.
Wow.
If you have,
It's funny because like
a DUI,
Vancouver's
anything.
like Vancouver's like pot central. There's but I mean, I guess, I've heard that those minor infractions, Kathy, can haunt you forever.
Yeah, and like they even tried once. They drove all the way there, and he couldn't get through. And
would he consider purchasing a moose costume and just walking across the border?
Everybody that's texting in saying you need to have a passport to get into Canada.
Okay. Why do they keep going to Canada if he can't go then?
That's exactly why they don't like him.
He married into the family, and the entire family has gone, since they were kids. But he's going through this process, and hopefully we'll be able to go this year.
Yeah, I had heard they're strict about that at the border. Wow. All right. One more thing?
Sure.
Yeah, okay.
All
One
right.
more thing, yeah.
One more stream of consciousness, nerd.
A latest Instagram dating trend around is apparently non-existent on Instagram. So I'll explain. It's called no launch dating.
No launch dating.
And it's where a couple may be dating but make no mention of their relationship on social media.
Okay.
There's a misconception surrounding people that choose a no-launch social media relationship where it's assumed that they're hiding something or somehow embarrassed about the relationship.
Would you? So, okay, this is an interesting dynamic that you bring up because there are a couple things that have occurred to me recently. With this being one of them, do you think when you were dating, did you feel an overwhelming need to inform people?
I never made an announcement.
Right.
No.
Right.
It was just people just found out.
Or by inquiry. Are you guys?
Yeah.
That would be it. I never felt, ladies and gentlemen, can I have your attention, please?
Yes. You send out invitations
Right, yeah,
and
yeah.
cards. You rent a hall.
I felt it was important to know that I have engaged and am currently engaged in the process of courting this young lady.
No, it's a different time, though.
It is. I know.
Yeah, and so, I mean, I started dating my now fiance in the Instagram era, and there was a point where it became Instagram official, and like it's kind of a big deal, you know.
By online declaration, or did you just,
No,
or did
just like-
people inquire? They saw you together in pictures.
You start posting pictures together with
Right.
somebody, and then that's the declaration. Some people actually declare, you know, that they're dating, and they show those pictures. But I think it's two things. It's one, like sort of an affirmation to your partner that you're together, and then it's also a note to say, hey, I'm kind of off in the market for a little while.
The way relationships, it's interesting because, hey, are you guys, is that your girlfriend? Oh, we've been on a couple dates.
Sure,
You know,
yeah.
that's usually how the answer is. And
What are you, a cop?
But it's like I'm not sure yet. And then after a while, it's like I think she's my girlfriend.
Yeah.
And then it turns into she's my girlfriend.
yeah.
You know, so at the timing.
And then comes the post, we will remain friends.
But the timing of professing your relationship publicly is it's not black and white. It's just,
It probably would not have been I don't think I would, publicly, or I'm not opposed if people want to do that. It just wouldn't be the way that I progressed in relationships. Yeah. Like, ladies and gentlemen, please pay attention.
So it says, in reality, many couples who choose this route simply choose to keep their relationship activities private to themselves. In one case, a woman worked as a social media strategist in the music industry and garnered a lot of attention online. He didn't want to be any part of her online activities, so they both agreed to keep their relationship out of social media's wormhole, effectively making it a no-launch relationship.
Get out of my hole. Have you ever been in a relationship, there's the second part of my original observations, where you weren't sure if you were actually in a relationship?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, and you're like, are we?
Yeah.
That happens.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so you have to ask the question, so what is this?
Yeah. What is this thing?
I had my heart ripped out and stomped on with a girl that I was seeing in college.
You felt you were seeing her? Yeah.
Well, dude, we were doing everything that girlfriends and boyfriends do.
Okay.
If you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Right? She took things from me that you can only take from a person one time.
Right.
And so when, I wanted to profess, my feelings for, like, there was like, oh, we're not girlfriend, boyfriend. Like, I don't want to put a label on things. But me, I was so head over heels for this
Is that
girl.
how she said it to you?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I don't want to put labels on these things.
Okay.
On this thing. Okay.
That stung, didn't it?
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
man.
I mean, listen, in retrospect and in hindsight, I'm like, okay, I was a child.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I was an 18-year-old child. I had, like basically zero experience in a relationship. But, I mean, everything looked like we were girlfriend.
We
boyfriend.
have to get married.
Yeah.
I'm pregnant.
Yeah.
So how did that relationship,
Unfortunately,
continue?
I got ghosted towards the last couple of weeks of the summer, where she ended up back with her ex-boyfriend.
Oh,
one of those things.
Last American Virgin.
Yeah, she still had an eye on the ex-boyfriend.
But they're not together either. She was somebody else.
All right, so question though, but at that point, what?
No, she just ended up with somebody else. I don't care. Whatever.
At that point where you made this,
never liked her anyway.
You are married with her.
where she professed this to you,
Yeah.
how much longer did the relationship relationship last? Did the quote-unquote relationship last?
I mean,
anyway.
Maybe like a month and a half or so. Listen, there was a moment that she and I had like when I always I'd play this back and I'm like, oh, this is the beginning of the end, which was she and I were laying on the beach together. And she looks at me. She's like, "If you could change one thing about me,
don't ever play that.
What would you change?" Yeah. And I played because I won. I said I wouldn't change anything about you. You're perfect. But really, she asked me that question so then she could offer what she would change about me.
Right.
And I'm like, okay.
Can you wait right here? I have a notebook in the car.
Did she go lead into that?
Yeah.
About what she would change about? What did she want to change about you?
There's 5 different categories. Physical appearance. Let's start with that. Yeah.
She whips out a pie chart.
Intellect. Chapter 3 is drive and ambition.
Okay.
Chapter 3.
There's 5 chapters, man. And so far, you pretty much nailed all of them.
Goes into a PowerPoint presentation.
Yeah. You know? I'd like you to know over here, they do intersect at a certain point.
She starts the PowerPoint, and Morgan Freeman is narrating the whole thing.
It was over a month and a half ago that you first met. It was at that point when she realized this would go nowhere fast.
What did she say?
Basically what he said. No. It was the thing she would change most is that I would be more serious about life.
And what age?
I was 18. I was 18 years old. And
how much older was she?
A year older. She was she was a grade above me, and
it's funny how things like that play out because I know we've all had those similar things where you're like, oh, I thought this, I thought that.
And guess what? This is where my seriousness got me in life. I have so many of these buttons. And this one.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like
her loss.
Yeah, come on, man.
Hey, man, listen, I'm paying. That's paying the mortgage right now.
That's not a knock.
Look at me now.
Yeah. So chapter 1 was what? Chapter 4 definitely was penis-sized.
Yeah.
You know?
All right. Well, anyhow, the no-launch relationship is a thing, apparently, and some people are choosing to do it that way.
Yeah.
So I just thought I would share that. I'd never heard of that before.
No, neither have I.
All right, that's it for the Stream of Consciousness.
The Stream of Consciousness, nerd.
Hit it one more time, Case, if you don't mind. Yeah.
My mind is a raging torrent, flooded with rivulets of thought, cascading into a waterfall of creative alternatives.
All right, with the closing of the Stream of Consciousness, we take a quick break, come back in a moment. The Bizarre File is coming up, as is our special Day Off at Dorney Word of the Day. You'll need to win tickets to join us for a live broadcast on July 11th. So we'll come back with that. Stay put. A game here, name that song in 8 bits. And it uses that particular 8-bit video game sound effects.
Yeah.
Do you want to play one real quick and see if you can?
I didn't know this would be a test.
It's a test. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Here we go.
She's a good girl. He's a pro, man.
Congratulations.
What a dude, Tom Petty.
Yeah. You have just won yourself a digital download of Ant-Man and the Wasp. It's available now.
No way.
Digitally on trade.
It's all coming up, Bonzi.
Let's try another one. All right.
There's more?
Yeah. Let's try another one. Here we go. Listen. You know it.
Oh, okay, yeah. So I'm gonna be the man who's coming home to you.
Yeah. You got that right.
I'm really ginger, and I've got a brother here, and he's also equally as ginger as me.
Case, what do we have for him?
We've got a case of Yard's Rival IPA right now.
Am I actually winning? Is this real?
We'll give it to you.
You're just being sarcastic right now?
This is actually the citizenship test you never took. So.
All right, should we do one more?
One more.
Yes. Case, which one should we?
You know what? The one that you have, I love.
Okay. All right. Let's try this last one for Barnes.
Oh, I know this song. Oh, I should have just quit while I was ahead. I know the tune, but I can't place it in my brain.
Yeah, I'll give you the artist.
Hold on. The melody should be kicking in. Right here, I think. There we go.
I got nothing.
Don't know that one.
I I know it. It's a very good song.
Peter Gabriel?
Yeah, Peter Gabriel.
The name of the song is Salisbury Hill.
Oh God! I can't believe I didn't get Peter Gabriel. I got the Pretenders, but I didn't get Peter Gabriel.
That's incorrect. I'm sorry, Barnes. You didn't get it right.
We're going to have to take back the download and the beer.
Yeah.
Oh, man, what was I going to win? That was like a Prius, wasn't it?
Yeah, no, that was. It was.
Yeah.
And unfortunately,
I can't believe I know that song.
That's all right.
It's because you brought me in here like early in the morning. You did it deliberately, didn't you? Just to shame me in front of all these people on the radio.
You didn't get a chance to, get ready for it and practice.
I'm a musician. I'm not meant to be up at these hours. It's fundamentally against our DNA.
I wanted to ask you about writing because I was reading an article in Rolling Stone about you that said you have a difficult writing while you have a difficult time writing when you're happy. It's better when there are things going on in your life.
That's why I pay a troupe of men to sort of beat me consistently in the studio.
You want to be in a constant state of misery.
Yeah, exactly. Blunt objects mainly. Things they find outside in the street, sticks, stones.
Yeah, but sure. No.
But the
doorknobs
songs are
in a sack.
doorknobs in a sack.
Just got to keep me on my toes, I don't want to get too comfortable.
Oranges in a sock.
Yeah, it's surprising that you're going with doorknobs instead of something a little bit more malleable.
Listen, I don't tell them how to do their jobs, okay?
Hey, we're the professional beaters. Let us do what we do.
Are you an only child?
Me?
Yeah.
No, what makes you say that?
Because only childs are usually weird.
No, I think I was dropped a lot as a baby.
Oh, okay. I was just trying to get the root of it all. No, you have a great sense of humor.
That's what I keep telling everybody.
Does that help things keep things light when you're on the road? You just try to have a good time?
It does sort of quell the crippling depression that plagued me from a young age. I didn't know we were going to bring that up for this interview.
I'm
but,
sorry.
Yeah.
Well, we're just trying to get you
wound.
Maybe it's inspiring you to write a new song.
Possibly. You never know.
All right. So what's another song you're going to play for us this morning?
Wait, I have to play two?
Yes, it's two. Now do it.
I got the one. I thought that was the deal.
We got a sack of doorknobs right out there ready to go.
All right. I'll play Fire.
All right,
which
Fire.
is a song of mine that I wrote.
Okay.
With my mind.
Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, this is Barnes Courtney.
Yeah.
Lonely shadows following me. Lonely ghosts come a-calling. Lonely voices talking to me. Now I'm gone, I'm gone, I'm gone. My mother told me, son, let it be. Sold my soul to the calling. Sold my soul to sweet melody. Now I'm going, I'm going, I'm going. Lord, give me that fire. Ooh, Lord, give me that fire. Ooh, Lord, give me that fire. Burn, burn, burn. Oh, 1,000 faces staring at me. 1,000 times I've fallen. 1,000 faces dead at my feet. Now I'm going, I'm going, I'm going. My mother told me, son, let it be. Sold my soul to the calling. Sold my soul to sweet melody. Now I'm going, I'm going, I'm going. Lord, give me that fire. Lord, give me that fire. Lord, give me that fire. Burn, burn, burn. Ghosts and devils come calling, calling my name out. Lost in the fire. Virginia blood is calling, calling my name out. Lost in the fire. Lord, give me that fire. Lord, give me that fire. Lord,
Yeah, man. Awesome.
Wow. Fire.
Such a great sound.
Barnes Courtney, who is in our studio, and I didn't talk once during your performance. That
Very
time.
nice of you. Thank you.
Well, you won us over with the first song. We figured we'd be listening to the full second one.
Most definitely. He got my attention. By the way, I got a text that says, "Thank you. Now I have to go home and change my panties."
Wow. That was me.
A day after the season 13 finale of America's Got Talent, finalist Michael Ketterer was arrested for domestic violence.
Whoa.
Well, it shows the system works because he only came in 5th place.
What did he do? Was he a singer or what?
He packed luggage.
No, I don't know. Michael Ketterer is
I
his
think he was
name,
a
and
singer.
I don't know what he did. We're looking at a picture of him with his arms open at a microphone, so that leads to believe that he may
did a
have
John
been
McCain impression.
a singer and impersonated John McCain. So those are the two things you can clearly get from this photograph here.
He's going to be Playing a Vegas
It's
casino.
uncanny.
Yeah.
He just does John McCain and that's it?
Yeah.
What would it be like if John McCain sang the songbook of Air Supply?
A loving tribute to
one of our nation's heroes and the kings of soft rock.
I don't even have any air supply.
One of our nation's heroes. You probably do on
So
here.
lost without you.
I'm sorry. That's
I knew you were right for leaving me so long.
That's
Very specific talent.
It was the greatest John McCain Air Supply show I've ever seen.
And I'm bringing back my whole family. It's patriotic and it's romantic.
All right. So anyhow, I guess he was a singer and a John McCain impersonator. So let me go to here and more broken ribs. I have it says Walper. Is your name Walper?
Walter.
Honestly, wouldn't you at least say
Walper?
Is this Judge Wapner calling in?
You got a nickname now, Walter.
Oh my God!
Yeah, you hear what happened to old Walper.
That's not even a mistype. I'm looking at the T and the P are like nowhere near each other on the keyboard.
Walper.
Name's Walper.
Let me get that straight. Your actual name is Walter. And what happened to you? So what happened to you, Walter?
All right. Well,
All right.
I've broken my hand.
Yeah.
I've fractured all my ribs.
Were these fights over your weird name, Walper?
It's not my name!
His guy's name's Walper. I'm gonna punch you.
But at least you got a great nickname today.
Walper.
Well, hang in there, brother. Okay.
From Touchstone Pictures, the inspiring story of a man named Walper. I've seen him. He's got some medical issues, but the worst thing is his name is Walper. And then a young therapist came into his life. Hi, I'm Kathy Romano. We're going to change that P to a T.
Simple as that.
And then his life turned around.
I'm the head of a Fortune 500 company. And I can do the saber dance.
That morning show's not making fun of me anymore.
Name and introduction. Darling, my heart filled the room. I knew it was you. Come back in my life.
Shows tonight at 7:30. Tickets
Wow, we
are
got Mello in here.
on sale now. World Cafe Live. That's
Real
Tommy
mellow.
Davidson, guys.
Wow. Because even the beds you guys got here are funky. The musical bed for that company just never. Then I come in, it's like.
No, we love that. That's really nice, man.
Yeah, thank you, man. Thank you. Thank you.
You wanted to be a singer initially, right? That was that preceded any thoughts of comedy.
That's the start. With a spoon and with tinfoil on it, standing on the table.
Yeah.
With the family around.
Yeah.
And
was jazz always your sort of foundational go-to musically?
No. I can't really remember what I started with, but I started with everything.
Yeah.
I think I got into soul when I discovered I was black.
Yeah.
But before that, I grew up in Laramie, Wyoming, and Fort Collins, Colorado, on communes and stuff.
Yeah.
So it was like Iron Butterfly,
Like
Red-
hippie communes?
Yeah.
No, I'm sorry. Can I jump in here? Because I'm so curious about that.
Yeah.
I love a hippie band, right? Like they're like Grateful Dead and stuff like that. I'm so not enamored by because so sometimes I would come out of these concerts, right?
Okay.
And there would be these people who would hand you these flyers to come and live on these communes, and it seemed a little appealing to me. It really did.
You're the guy.
Yeah. I don't think I would push my 5-year-old there though. I saw a lot of stuff at the communes. I was like, okay, I ain't put together till way later.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, boy.
Right. But I was a young adult at the time. I was like 22, 23 years old, and trying to find my way, kind of lost in this world.
Yeah,
and, like a lot of young 20-year-olds are.
Well, you weren't. Hey, I'm gonna. You had to go because that's where your family was.
Yeah.
I was telling you, Tommy, off air that I just started jumping into your book, Living in Color. What's funny about me? And I was telling these guys last night, like, this is an amazing freaking life. And you made mention of the fact when you found out you were black, and explain how you came into this world when you were born. It's a brutal story that has now turned into something great. But
yeah. I was actually abandoned in the trash in the year 1966. I was found.
Yeah.
So I was.
Can you enter today's Dorney digital word, which is menace? MENACE. And then you will have an opportunity to win. And every day that we reveal a new word, you should enter again, because each one is a new opportunity for you to win a 4-pack of tickets to the event. And if you do get the tickets, you get a free admission for the day. You get free parking. You get to enter starting at 8 a.m. before the park officially opens. And you can be there for our show and enjoy some of the rides that open early, including the brand new coaster Iron Menace.
I'm so excited. Over the weekend, I'm sure you were asked about this a lot, Preston.
Yeah.
Because it's a return to form, and talking about how you can go to other places where there are parks and lose your livelihood, your money.
You got to get a cosigner.
Yeah, a cosigner.
Yeah.
Here's Dorney, which is every bit as competitive. And it's right here.
Yep. Dorney Park, Mavar Kingdom for the fun of it. So the word is menace, MENACE, and you can enter that now. And good luck to you.
WMMR presents Preston and Steve's Bizarre File.
Brought to you by Sports and Social at Live Casino. Phillies Fridays at Sports and Social Philly. Every Friday home game, you can enjoy free caricature drawings, Budweiser specials, giveaways, memorabilia, and more. So visit sportssocialphilly.com. I got some really interesting ones for you. Yeah, how about this, man? Horrifying body camera footage shows a bloated 14-foot alligator with the body of a 41-year-old mom in its stomach.
Oh, my gosh.
Sabrina Peckham was eaten by the alligator while being dragged by the beast into a canal in Clearwater.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. Casey?
I wonder if it's one I saw.
I don't know. It was a big one. Peckham was...
I know Casey.
Peckham was unhoused at the time and had been staying at an encampment close to where the alligator was located and killed. New footage from the Florida Fish and Wildlife Conservation Commission shows the aftermath of the attack. Video shows the huge gator surrounded by police moments after it was shot to death, its stomach visibly swollen with Peckham inside. Ugh.
Yeah.
Gosh.
Police released footage showing the moment that it was gunned down. A passerby raised the alarm in September of last year. So this isn't a fresh story, but they're just now revealing this video footage.
Yeah.
A passerby raised the alarm in September of last year after spotting the reptile with what appeared to be a body in its mouth. Soon afterwards, several other local residents spotted the gruesome sight as the alligator dragged its prey away, with some even recording the scene. Officers taped the animal's mouth shut, used rope and chains to pull it from the canal. They had to slash the side of its belly in order to remove some of Peckham's remains. After her mother's death, Peckham's daughter came out to deny that her mom had been taunting the animal. She said, "My mother was a part of the homeless population that lived in the nearby wooded area. It is believed that she may have been walking to or from her campsite near the creek in the dark, and the alligator attacked from the water." 2 months before her untimely death, Peckham was arrested for trespassing on a county wetland just a half a mile from where she was mauled. She reportedly ignored warning signs placed around the area. and pleaded no contest to the misdemeanor charge. But there's a reason they don't want you to go into those areas.
No, they don't.
There's gators around.
You just had the story of the woman who was swallowed whole by a boa constrictor.
Yeah, so it can happen. A man is facing charges after he told police he broke into his former Chick-fil-A co-worker's home to perform an exorcism on her.
Right.
That is so sweet.
Officers responded after a caller reported a possible home burglary. They arrived on the scene and spoke with the homeowner who said a man broke into the house through the window and wasn't supposed to be there.
Your mother eats waffle fries in hell.
Police yelled for the intruder and heard responses from around the house from the 38-year-old suspect. Officers then advised the man to come out of the house with his hands up, which he complied with, and came out covered in blood. When asked why there was blood all over him, the man allegedly said, I had to break in the window. I have to do an exorcism here tonight.
Oh, all right.
The man allegedly told police that he was trying to save a female who was upstairs in the house by performing an exorcism with a CD that he had brought.
I've never heard of that.
And the man allegedly told police, play track number 3. That will save her. During the investigation, officers learned the homeowner has known the intruder
Mambo
since
number 5.
2002, and they worked together at Chick-fil-A. Officers at the scene also found blood throughout the house, along with a bloody CD. The man was asked by medics taken by medics to a local hospital, where he admitted due to his mental state, he is facing charges of criminal mischief, disorderly conduct, and residential entry. The man has not worked at Chick-fil-A for 20 years.
Oh, my God.
Wow. Some things just stick with you.
I guess that relationship that they had stuck with him.
Stuck to his ribs like the food.
Whatever reason, but yeah. A dispute between friends over a pool pump led to a fatal shooting in St. Cloud, Florida. Deputies responded to an emergency call. Joseph Beck had been shot while sitting in his parked car. Beck was pronounced dead at a nearby hospital. The suspect, identified as Joshua Miller, fled the scene but was later apprehended thanks to public tips and surveillance footage.
That's him. That's the pool pump killer.
Surveillance video shows Miller approaching Beck's car shouting, "Where's my pool pump?" before violently pistol whipping him.
Jeez.
Wow.
And during the assault, Miller's gun discharged, fatally wounding Beck. Miller then fled into nearby woods, only to be captured early the next morning. And he now faces several charges, including felony murder with a firearm and burglary of a conveyance with battery.
Now that I look back on things, I might have overreacted about that pool pump.
He's had a chance to really think about it
now.
now.
Upon reflection, I don't even have a pool.
All right, let me see. We'll do, okay. This is a tragic story, but it has to be in the bizarre file. And the name you will not believe. Okay, so Nathan Duty and Tyler Memory were sucked into a tank of manure and died Friday after being intoxicated by the
literally
fumes.
is a Duty memory.
But yeah, how ironic that a guy's name who's Duty, D-O-O-D-Y, died by manure.
If it's any consolation, even his widow was chuckling a bit.
The two off-duty firefighters were working their day jobs at the Champion Farms cattle ranch in Clinton, New York, when one of the pair tumbled into a manure tanker to retrieve a piece of equipment. The first man in fell unconscious, prompting the second to follow his fate. They tried to rescue him, and he got knocked out. You know, those fumes.
Yeah, there's no way to go.
They can kill you.
Remember the story you had? I forget maybe it was close to here, where there was methane in a ditch, and one guy fell in, and he passed out, and then the other guy fell, and they both died because it really takes you quickly.
Well, yeah, there's no air.
There's no air.
There's nothing to breathe. So,
that's horrible.
Memory had been a firefighter since 14 for the Tully Joint Fire Department, the third generation of his family to take up the mantle, and Duty similarly had been a lifelong firefighter for the Cortland County Collier Fire Department, joining at age 10. The two worked together at Champion Farms as manure tank divers, according to their fire chief. So, yeah, that's a... Oof.
I would wonder if something like
gig.
that you would assume a job like that would have to pay well, right?
It would have
if you're a manure tank diver.
Extremely
right?
well,
What am I getting out of this?
Yeah. All right, and that's what I have.
Well, the pride.
In the bizarre file for you this morning. All right, the word, we just mentioned it a moment ago for the Preston and Steve Day Off at Dorney is menace. If you have not entered that yet, you just go to PrestonandSteve.com. You'll see a link right there for the Day Off at Dorney event, and you enter it, and you'll be in the running for a family 4-pack of tickets. So get on that now. Again, the word is menace, M-E-N-A-C-E. We'll be right back.
Preston and Steve.
Yeah. Maybe under 2.
Yeah.
Coma, starved, contusions in the head, the whole night. But my mother, who found me randomly in the trash.
It's just
it's
amazing.
So she was a white woman from Wyoming, and her and her husband were down there in Greenville, Mississippi,
which is like one of the poorest
in the country. You know,
Yeah.
so they're teachers at Colorado State, and
Right.
They heard Kennedy say, if you look back on this time in history, would you be able to be a white American that did something about the race problem?
Right.
So they wanted to do that. So they went down there and immunized kids and did that kind of stuff, and did voting drives. And they met my natural mom when they were doing those movements. They came back down there to pick up a program they were doing, and she was gone. You know, and my mother's nosy.
Right.
You know, she said she's gone. Well, where'd she go? And we think she went to Detroit, but she left her youngest baby at such and such a house. My mom is nosy and went to the house.
Right.
And the kids doing drugs in there, and you know, it was an abandoned house. So she said something told me when I walked out the door to look under this big tire that was on the top of the trash, and I moved it, and your foot was there.
Oh my God!
My God!
You know, and she said she moved the trash and had a torn shirt on and said, "I will be president in 2-0," and the rest was torn.
Wow.
You know, took me to the hospital. I stayed there 90 days. I lived, went to Fort Collins, Colorado, where I grew up until I was 5. Grew up on farms and meadows and
so all this time
animals and
With her.
with her and my brother and my sister.
Okay.
My sister's was my same age. So we're twins, really, but she's blonde.
You related something. You relate something.
Yeah.
You relate something, and I saw also reading some interviews with you, and you brought up this point that I thought because you'd say, okay, cats can give birth to multiple colors, and you just thought that was you.
I thought that was me.
Yeah.
Because I'm in farms and animals are everywhere. So we saw litters. Me and my kid's sister play with kittens and puppies and all the time. And, I noticed that, it could be a black cat. It would have a white one, speckled one.
Yeah.
Maybe 2 black ones, a brown one, or a horse. Could be it could be a brown horse and have a white coat.
Yeah.
So I thought that, that's how we are. You know what I mean? So I'm a brown one.
Right.
I'm a brown one of whatever we are.
It's such a pure,
you know what I mean? Yeah.
innocent concept.
Yeah, until we got to Washington, D.C.
How old were you then?
I was 5. And we moved in there in 68.
So you started like self-awareness around that age?
Oh, way self-awareness, boy. We moved there the week that King got shot.
Right.
So we moved in during the riots. Me and my sister on the ground, me and my brother, tear gas, fires. So we settled in this inner city neighborhood in D.C. because they broke up,
Yeah.
And there's a lot of jobs in D.C. And we come out to play with the kids, and they beat our ass, man.
Wow.
Every day. Every day. And they were calling my brother and my sister White Cracker.
Uh-huh.
And calling me White Cracker Lover.
Because your mom was white.
Well, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I just went to her and said, why are they calling me White Cracker Lover? I like graham crackers. You know what I mean? Like
they're better. They taste better.
Oh, it's so sad though when
You know
the
what I mean?
innocence is ruined.
Yeah, it's just like, so she said, well, that's what people our color call people. That's what people your color call people our color when they don't like them.
Yeah.
I was like, well, what color am I? She said, you're black. I said, no, I'm brown.
Yeah.
Right.
Like the crayons. She said, yeah, but that's what we call you. Anyway. And so then I moved out to it got so bad, we moved out to the suburbs of Wheaton, Maryland. That's the first time I heard the N-word.
Right.
I got the FCC note, by the way. Yeah.
So it got exponentially worse.
The
suburbs, which you thought would be...
I was being chased by grown men saying, kill the Nick.
Yeah.
And I was barely getting in the house, and I'd be riding my bike, and a whole truckload of teenagers kill them.
Yeah.
So I was running in the house, barely making it. They were throwing stuff through the window, shooting, and it was crazy. So
this is late 60s?
This is 69 now.
Okay.
I remember everything,
Yeah.
So I go to my mom and I go, who are these ends? We got to stay away from them.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They must be really bad people.
Right.
Oh, and that's when she said, that's what our people call your people when they don't like them. our color. And I said, well, what color are you? She said, I'm white. I said, you're not white, you're like beige.
Yeah. Kids are so literal.
This is the stupidest damn thing in the world. You guys are mad at each other for colors you not really are.
But in the
You know what I mean?
in that innocent thing, you're speaking absolute truth.
Yeah, it's like the dumbest thing, you
Yeah.
know, but it is the world. So we moved to an integrated neighborhood, and this is a real story, and I'm sticking with it. The white teenagers chased me again.
Yeah.
Killed the ne.
Yeah.
But when the black teenagers came in front of me, the white teenagers went the other way.
Yeah.
And I've been black since that day.
Yeah, right.
And it's been an education.
Right.
Well, so you,
You know
and
what I mean?
you
Yeah.
became going back to the earlier point. That's when you became aware of yourself, and that's when you got into the soul music and things of that nature. You're exposed to that.
I pretty much came aware of it as soon as I got to D.C.
Okay.
Because when I got to D.C., my mom is always make friends with everybody.
Right.
So my mom had all these black friends right away. So and I think she did it on purpose
to give you some culture.
She knew that I was talented, so she'd invite them over and put on James Brown.
Wow. Did she have any inclination towards this? Any musical capabilities or nothing?
My family is so far from music.
Yeah.
You know, cowboys from Wyoming. You know.
Right.
But I was, spoiled by them. All the love I got, and I was the spoiled child. And so I'd sing "Say It Loud, I'm Black and I'm Proud."
Yeah.
Just because it was a song. But when I got in first grade, I put up the Black Power fist, doing the
Pledge of Allegiance. Yeah.
Oh. Yeah, and I got in trouble, and
so you were making up for lost time.
Hey, listen, my mom, she did it all on purpose.
Yeah.
This took me time to look back on it, but she came into that office, boy, and she looked at the principal and the teachers, and she was like, "What's wrong?" And they were like, "He put up the Black Power fist." She said, "So what? That's all he knows about himself right now. Now, if you want to teach him something new, teach him something new. He just learned the Pledge of Allegiance just like the other students. So teach him. That's what he knows about himself so far."
It's such a fascinating, unintentional experiment. In a bizarre way, not to call it an experiment, but it's something that is just and this is, by the way, let people know again, Living in Color. What's funny about me? It's just a side promotion, but I just started it. It's riveting.
Tommy, is your mom still alive?
No.
Okay.
No.
When did she pass?
She passed away probably about 12 years ago.
Okay. What an
But
amazing
still
woman.
alive, boy.
I would love
Still
to talk
alive.
to her. Yeah.
Well, she got to see a lot of your success, though.
I'm her greatest accomplishment.
Yeah.
I'm her greatest accomplishment. That's the Sweet Reunion is about her coming back to me through my daughter.
So who are your inspirations on the musical side? Obviously, we know the comedy. We're going to talk about the comedy. But
I'd have to just say the Association, Earth, Wind, and Fire, Grand Funk, Parliament, Rick James, Cameo, Fleetwood Mac, Kansas. Carry on my wayward son. It's all in me, man. The Led Zeppelin Kool-Aid commercial. You need Kool-Aid.
You need Kool-Aid.
I ain't fooling. Want a whole lot of Kool-Aid. All right. Peter Frampton. Do you feel like I do?
Yeah. That's a wide exposure.
It's just, it all came my way, man.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
That's so cool. So this show, that is tonight. What can we expect?
Expect the unexpected.
Yeah.
I'm mixing now music with comedy. The saxophonist I'm playing with is excellent. So I'm doing comedy and doing music at the same time.
So your history, obviously we know you from the skit comedy in Living Color and obviously the movies and the characters you've done and so on and so forth. But your stand-up career was pretty robust, and you got into the Comedy Store, Mitzi Shore.
You been reading.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
And you were on a bill with Richard
I thought
Pryor.
he owned the Sixers.
Richard Pryor and Eddie Murphy, correct?
Yeah, when I first got in.
Wow. So you're
finally got to the main room after 3 years of hitting the pavement.
And the main room's where you wanted to ascend to the
that's
main
where you
room.
wanna be.
And so, be careful what you wish for. You end up on that bill, and you were middling for that.
Yep. And we all had the same time.
Explain what that was like. Give us a taste of that. I mean, you
that
have
was like
arguably
yeah.
the greatest comedic minds in stand-up of all time.
It was opportunity meets preparation and desperation. But I was ready.
Yeah.
I was ready. I'd been put through the fire. I was just about to go home from Hollywood. My mom sent me a couple of days earlier. You know those big legal pads that used to have the long yellow paper?
Yeah.
She put in magic marker. She folded up a $20 bill and put in magic marker. Don't leave, and I know you need the $20. And it was just a couple of days before this happened.
Wow.
You know what I mean? And so I get on the stage, and I'm in between the two for 4 shows, and I got standing ovations, man.
Because the last thing, so I did stand up for a while. You would want to you'd want to be the MC, you'd want to be the opener, but you don't want to be anywhere near following one of those two. And yet you did. And Pryor himself kind of gave you a nice
Pryor
assessment.
came down to me, man. We were in a little hovel. You know, the green room got the chicks and the food, you know.
Right.
Ours looked like a closet, you know. And he looked me up and down, shook his head, and looked me in the face. He said, man, you was a funny, and walked away.
God.
I called my mom. I was like, she said, I told you not to leave. You know, I told you not to leave, you know.
Wow. That's so
that
cool.
was it. But I have faith in mankind.
Yeah.
It happened here in Philadelphia.
Okay.
Not the smack.
Yeah.
I wasn't there. A woman died at my show here.
Whoa. Really?
Yes.
Huh.
And I have faith in mankind. I invited her.
Yeah.
So I went to a check cashing place on a Sunday to try to cash my check, and the place was closed. But there was still people in there. You know how they lock it, but there's
right.
You know, just lock it behind you because we're closed and no one knows it. So the people saw me and were like, "Let him in." And I came in and I was in line, and the people were like, "You know who he is?" And she leaned over and she said, "Oh my God.
Yeah.
Hi, thanks for coming." I was like, "No, thanks for letting me in."
Yeah.
And so she's doing her stuff, and she said, "What are you doing in town?" And I said, "I'm doing a show." She said, "Oh man, wow, you have a show."
Thanks, Kath. Real quick shout out. This is, hey guys, I'd like to send a shout out to my daughter, Caitlin Munch, for her 30th birthday on June 17th from her dad, Mike. He says, Caitlin was born early in the morning on Father's Day in 1994. After sleeping away most of the day, after a long night at the hospital, I woke up and turned on the TV and was confused that the same movie was on every single channel. And I finally figured out it was the O.J. White Bronco chase.
Oh, my God.
So we wish her a very happy birthday, Caitlin, who turns 30 today. And there is your chart. By the way, thank you to all who attended the I Bleed for Preston and Steve blood drive on Friday, the 2 locations in both Oaks and in Philadelphia at Live Casino. We had a great morning.
It was sensational.
Kathy, we missed you. We had a good time.
How was it?
It was wonderful. We had a nice group of people and steady movement throughout the day, and we set a world record.
We did after only 71 tries.
What was the world record?
60 feet. It was the
Munchkin.
The Munchkin toss. Casey, I had to bring in a
reliever.
A reliever because my shoulder was giving out. I was throwing so many.
But you called in the right closer because
Casey did it.
We and Kathy, I know you're going to ask this. It was a cinnamon Munchkin that finally ended up being the one.
All right.
Kathy, you missed 2 incredible messes. The first was from the Munchkin toss, and Steve, like, at one point, Steve knocked over his coffee, and then Steve had, like, donuts all over.
And it looked like I'd been playing paintball with Munchkins.
And then the subsequent celebration, once it happened, Casey fired off this. I don't even know what it was, Casey.
It was by the way, it was for our 20,000th donation.
Right.
And then Casey, you know those little hand confetti things, little tubes? Well, Casey thought this one was filled with confetti.
Because we all had confetti. We'd all fired ours off, and they were confetti.
Look at Nick's monitor over there. It was filled with powder.
Watch
like what they use in the baby reveals.
Yeah, exactly that.
Yeah.
And it landed on my laptop.
Oh my God.
When it all came down. So,
Wait, who bought them?
The Red Cross.
So one just got mixed in with the confetti.
They told me, they were like, we didn't know. They were apologizing profusely, and I was like, don't worry about it. It was very funny. And it actually, the picture, whoever took that, you took that?
Yeah.
Wait, no. That.
Oh, that one. No, that was that might have been Brendan Petrelli, or it might have been Aaron Carty.
Because it shot a good 20 feet in the air, something like that. It was awesome.
So, by the way, obviously, we got to that point. We were waiting. We had heard that the 20,000th, donor would be available at an approximate time, and she came over, and we were all excited. And Kathy, as it's going on, I fire off mine, Nick fires off. Everyone's doing it, but Casey's there like this, like. He couldn't get it to go. And it's like, why is that confetti one so hard to fire? Yeah. And then we found out.
And was it hard to clean up?
It was a pain in the ass.
Yeah,
we had to call him Rodney. Yeah.
Oh, no.
It was a pain in the ass.
I mean, and so you have all this sludge by me. I have this coffee slick. And I picked up about 70 munchkins from the floor.
Yeah. But it was great. Steve and I went to Philadelphia to the live casino location. Pierre was broadcasting live, jumped on with him.
Love that location.
I do too.
Yeah. Really, both of those really work.
It's we have the warehouse vibe in Oaks, and then you got the casino vibe at live, and it's in their event center. It's really, really cool.
The theater, awesome.
Everybody was in a great mood, and we went and donated as well while we were there, so thanks to all.
By the way, I had Amanda as my phlebotomist, and she that was like, so I contend for people who are needle phobic or pain phobic or whatever, the needle's nothing. I always find the actual pricking of the finger initially, it's
a little bit more of a that's kind of like a bee sting.
She nailed that. That was like the best I ever had, and the best needle. But it's nothing. But I mean, everyone was smiling, and to my eye, Preston, I didn't see a lot of people who are being turned away, which I think bodes well.
Yeah, I talked to a couple who were, through the low iron.
Low iron is always the culprit, or often the culprit.
Yep, but I didn't see anybody pass out. That doesn't mean that nobody did, but I didn't see any issues like that, so it was a success.
Yeah.
Waiting on the numbers. We'll find out later on today, and we will reveal that information tomorrow morning. So, like I said, traffic was just a nightmare getting in and out, but thanks to those who dealt with that. Then the next day...
This is what I need to know about.
The next day, I was crowned the Grand Gherkin of the Big Dill Pickle Festival in Philadelphia. And, man, it was packed.
Yeah.
They sold over 8,000 tickets for the event. And I was talking to one of the organizers who said, apparently, it is the largest... It had largest non-sport related ticketed event in that area that they've ever had.
That they've ever, I believe,
Pickles!
8,000. And you know what? Since the announcement of that, since the presentation of your hat, the pickle fanatics in my sphere have come out of the woodwork. And now are all interested in your pickles.
Man, you should have seen the crowd and the way people were dressed. It was hilarious. I mean, my neck was broke, was sore from going back and forth and looking at everybody's really creative shirts. Some people were dressed in full-size pickle costumes. I mean, like a lot of people were, not just one or two people. It was a ton of people like that, and they all had these like little pickles that they would wear, like the antenna that come up from their heads. The girls were all wearing those. They had some great bands that were playing as well. There was a guy who was just a singer, musician with a guitar, and he was singing like Pearl Jam songs, and he would insert pickle references into those songs.
I love it.
Every song that he was playing had some kind of reference to pickle or brine or whatever, gherkin. He would throw. It was a lot of fun.
So you're predominantly in that area, that parking lot. Where was it?
So the footprint was the main parking area where at Xfinity Live for that we do food trucks and fireworks over there. All of the inside of Xfinity Live, so all the bars, PBR and Victory, and all that were filled as well. Then the main stage area that was all filled too, and the entire footprint where we do the Camp Out for Hunger.
That as well.
That's where all the vendors were.
Wow!
And so it was huge.
So were they not broadcasting like pickle programming?
It wasn't a broadcast, but they were doing almost like a morning show type of. It was Chris and Kim had a stage with a table that looked like a pickle. And they were bringing up some of the vendors, and they would talk with them, and they would bring their stuff up, and they were chatting. We were doing brine chugging contest. Okay, so here's something I found out about my son that I didn't know because Carter went with me, and Carter wanted to be in on the brine chugging contest.
Right.
And the thing was, though, and we had gotten there early before the whole thing even started, was that there were qualifying rounds, and then the finals were going to be later on that evening. And we just did not want to stay all day long. So I was like, if you enter and you qualify, then you have to stay for the whole thing. And he's like, all right, then I won't do it. And I watch these guys chugging, and I'm like, well, I don't know if Carter would win or not. He goes, oh, yeah, I would have won. I was like, really? I go, you can do, and what I did not know about Carter is he can do the thing where you open your throat.
No way.
And just throw it down.
Really?
I had no idea. He did it 3 times for me. He took an entire pint.
Whoa.
What?
And in less than 2 seconds,
boom,
just done.
That's
like,
crazy, the people that can do that.
I know.
Yeah, my buddy Vinny can do it too.
It's wild to watch him do it.
But Vinny was never much of a binge drinker. Well, I'm like, I wasted that skill on you.
So
he probably would have won the whole damn thing.
I wonder if I could do that, especially because I had the esophageal. My esophagus is sort of pinned to the side.
I mean,
now.
there's literally no gulping at all.
Yeah,
right.
You just
pour it down an open maw.
Yeah.
So it started at 11, and how late did it go to?
It went to like 7 o'clock in the evening.
Wow,
Yeah,
that is a long damn day.
And I got to give a shout out to Nikki and Mike from Fishtown Pickle Project because they were awesome, obviously, and they gave me a bunch of my pickles to take home with me. But their stand was very, very popular, and Preston's picks were selling like crazy, and it was great to see those guys. And also, Nikki's dad just passed away not that long ago, so I want to send my condolences out to her. But while I was on stage talking to the audience and talking to Chris and Kim, somebody comes up and he goes, "Hey, Preston!" Everybody was coming to me left and right. It was hard to miss me because I had this goofy looking hat on, and I looked down. And it's Rick Williams from 6 ABC.
Oh, man. He's a pickle boy?
That's what I said. I'm like, dude, you're a pickle fan? He's like, who isn't? So he and his wife and a bunch of friends were all there.
That's awesome.
And they were wearing all the pickle paraphernalia and stuff.
That's great.
Having a blast.
It's like finding out, the joke, your neighbors are Elvis impersonators. It's like
people to get passionate about, but it was mobbed. It was so much fun. I marched out with the mummers.
What was the most interesting thing that you ate?
So here's the deal.
Here's the deal.
Here's the deal. With an event like that, the lines were huge.
Yeah.
Huge just to even get samples. So you were committed to 20 minutes in line if you just wanted to walk up and taste something and decide whether or not you wanted to buy it. So we didn't, and I was going around meeting people and taking pictures and doing that type of thing. I didn't do a whole lot of sampling, unfortunately. But we picked up a few jars of pickles here and there. But I did try a pickle pierogi, and that was really good.
Okay.
And a pickle cannoli, which you're like, I don't know about that.
So how did that play?
It was mildly flavored with dill more than the vinegar.
Okay.
So that made more sense. And it actually tasted really good. I was surprised. It was sweeter than I thought it was going to be. So, but they had all kinds of concoctions like that and obviously all kinds of cocktails. I did have a Bloody Mary. That was really good with a lot of with pickled infused vodka, I think, in it. And then it was John, the owner of the Pickle Shot, was there, and he gave me a bracelet. I have it at home. It says Pickle Slut on it, which I absolutely loved. Hang on, we have the winner of the brine chugging contest. It's Justin. Hey, Justin.
Gadzooks, guys.
Gadzooks, bud. So congratulations.
Thank you.
Nice. What was your time?
I was the guy who had the 4.43.
Oh, nice. 4.43. Yeah. And you ended up staying for the final round and had to do it again?
Yeah. Well, they upped it to a full mason jar, and they put all 8 of us up on stage, and the first one done won.
Dude, so
nice.
What was your time on a full mason jar full of brine?
They didn't time us. It was just the first person
to win
and put it down.
All right. Wow.
Excellent. What'd you win?
A huge trophy, and then it looks like a jersey, kind of like a bicycle jersey with the big dill and the number on the back and everything.
Nice. Congratulations. So you were there all day then?
Yeah. The championship was at 5 p.m.
Okay.
So they had stuff going all day. And by the way, part of the deal, if you drink pickle brine, the Eagles were doing it for the longest time.
Yeah.
It helps you in hot weather.
Yeah.
So, but I also paid for it later on in the night.
Oh, you did?
Yes.
Did you have the runs?
A little bit.
Yeah. Okay. So I have a story to share with that.
All right.
By the way, congratulations, Justin. Glad you went to the big deal, man.
Thanks, guys.
All right. See you, bud. I think I've told this story before, but I told my son in the car on the way down there because he said he wanted to enter that contest. When I was a kid, I was probably in about 4th grade. I went to a roller skating rink with my sister, and, it's the type of thing where they just drop you off and you stay all day. And so I'm there, and I'm low on money. I had like a quarter.
Okay.
And apparently, the only thing you get to drink for a quarter at the concession stand was pickle juice.
Okay.
I love pickles.
Yeah.
No problem.
Yeah. Why not?
But I've never had a nice full glass of pickle juice. So I get it, drink it. About a half hour later, I'm out on the rink.
Oh, no.
I thought I had to fart.
Are you kidding?
And I full on filled my underwear. In roller skates.
So you look like remember the Spirograph?
Well, fortunately, it was the days of tighty whities.
Okay.
And so everything stayed contained and it didn't run down my leg, but I knew it immediately. And I had to flag down my sister, and I'm like, we have to leave right
God.
now.
So it reacted that quickly
It
with your
reacted
system.
that quickly. I've never drank pickle juice since then.
Okay.
Really?
I
Yeah.
haven't in the past. I don't remember that kind of reaction, but I'm not going to tempt fate. Yeah, wow.
It can occur. So it was a great day. It was so much fun. And it was a beautiful day. And like I said, they had great bands that were playing, and there was a kind of a country flavored band, and I think it was called Don't Leave Sober or something like that was the name of the band. They were mixing in rock with country and stuff like that, and they sounded really, really good. So the crowd was digging every bit of it, and there was so much love for the show.
I love that.
Left and right, I was stopping to take pictures with people, obviously, because they had that hat on. And so many people were coming up and saying things along the lines of just, and like kind of beside themselves of, just thanks for being there with me for all these years.
Oh, really?
And yeah, it was really touching.
We got a number. You cannot overestimate how important to hear stuff like when you come to us and say things like that, because I think we all perceive everybody as a big family that we spend the morning with, and it's not disingenuous. It's completely authentic. A lot of people out at the blood drives, Preston, saying the same thing, and there was a gentleman who caught me as I was going into the casino on the second leg of our trip, and he is going through his sobriety. He's now in sobriety. He's doing well, and he's saying during the toughest, leanest times that listening to the show, having friends, us. And I had to tell him, well, it's reciprocal. Knowing that you're out there and knowing that this means so much to you is everything. So countless stories like that. It was great.
Yeah, it was really cool to hear a lot of that stuff. So thank you guys for that and everybody who came out to the event because it was a blast. You had your adoption event. Steve, Canoli still needs a home.
Canoli still needs a home.
Oh, man.
So we were at Vinyl Revival with FindingShelter.org. I finally got to meet Canoli in person. This is the sweetest dog. Boston Terrier, purebred, sweetheart. I took a whole bunch of pictures and video. We were at, again, Vinyl Revival, which is a great record store in Lansdowne. It's a beautiful, that whole drag there has really like boutiques and stuff, and it's terrific. And Vinyl Revival is amazing. And by the way, thanks to Batter and Crumbs, they provided vegan cannolis, which were Preston. Effing awesome.
Really? Okay.
And they made me as a birthday thing. They made a vegan chocolate chip cookie cake that rocked my world. Tremendous, fantastic, and people were loving all that stuff. But we had people coming up. They were inquiring about cannoli, and the one issue with cannoli is, as many people have with pets, they have a pet that doesn't get along with other animals. As I say, I always mention Pierre and Lucy. This dog, though, is a home run. It's the kind of dog when you get down low, she gets up on her hind legs and is licking your face and is just as sweet as can be. So what happens is once Canoli gets adopted into a home, this is going to free up space for other animals, for Finding Shelter to bring on other animals and save more lives. And, of course, they're not going to throw out Canoli. So there's a little bit of a stumbling block here. She gets in the right home, and all is right with the world. So you can, contact me or findingshelter.org. But I won't rest until Canoli gets a home. So
reach out to Steve, please.
Yes.
I think this segment has broken the record for the number of mentions of the word cannoli.
Yes, that's right.
Because you had cannolis at the Pickle Festival.
cannolis.
Steve, you had the dog cannoli and vegan cannolis. Yes.
What?
There's a lot of cannolis.
Yeah.
Lots of cannoli.
It makes me want a cannoli now.
So also over the weekend, it's Father's Day yesterday.
Oh my God!
Yeah, and I wanted to ask the dads how they spent their Father's Day.
I wanted to share this with you, Preston, because I had a great day with Ben. We watched the U.S. Open, and Ben hadn't tuned in to golf for a long time and had forgotten a lot. And we used to watch it a lot when he was a little kid, and he just forgotten rules. And so I was explaining some of the rules that I understand. And then, we were talking about drop shots because I think Rory or somebody had to drop off or a shot off of a sprinkler head at one point. But it was so much fun to just get into that and watch it with him. And we ended up rooting for Rory and then rooting for Bryson. And it was a lot of back and forth. So it was really an enjoyable way to spend Father's Day.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Nice.
What did you do?
Oh, me?
Yeah.
So I played golf with a buddy of mine and his son, and that was a great time. But then afterwards, here's what I asked my family. This is all I wanted for Father's Day. You guys know I bring my lunch every day.
Yes.
And so on Sunday, I make my lunches, and I put them in the fridge, and they're good to go, and I just grab them. I'm like, I don't want to make my lunches today. I want you guys to make my lunches for me.
And they did it.
Well, Rochelle did.
Okay.
So she did made the lunches and shopped yesterday for me, and I realized throughout the day, I'm walking by, I'm like, oh, the garbage needs to go out. I'm not doing that.
Yeah.
Not today, baby.
Somebody take out the garbage, please. Yeah, I'll get it.
See,
dogs need to take a walk. I'm not going to do that. You guys take dogs for a walk? It was like a series of little things. I'm like, oh yeah, and I want this, and I want that, and I want that, and I'll take that too. So it was
I should have
actually
had kids. I could have had them take the garbage out.
Listen, I realized that it is actually a pretty special day because it is the one day that you kind of can ask for without saying, would somebody take the garbage out, please?
Yeah.
You can say, hey, somebody.
And do they respond?
Take the garbage out. Yeah.
Do they okay.
Yeah.
Case, same
It's the
with
day.
you?
Well, we didn't have any of that.
Okay.
But no, I mean, it was a pretty chill day. Like, I slept in a little bit and had breakfast made for me. That was nice.
Yeah.
And then I went out. So our boss, Chuck D'Amico,
Yeah.
he just got a new pontoon boat.
Oh.
I mean, not brand new, but new to him.
Yeah.
So we went out and we pontooned through the bays of Wildwood, North
They're great
Wildwood.
boats.
Yeah.
And that's a perfect area to do it.
Yeah, and we shot up over to Stone Harbor and did a little bit of fishing. Caught a shark.
You caught a shark. Hold on. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Like one of those little ones?
Yeah, little dogfish.
Dogfish.
Yeah.
I don't
dogfish.
care. It's a shark. Don't tell me it's a dogfish. It's a shark.
Wait,
any
and I'm
pictures?
sorry. I'm pretty sure they don't have teeth, right?
I don't know. I didn't take it off the hook.
They don't have teeth.
Yeah,
No,
I think those little ones don't. Jace caught one and a couple of years ago, and they were like, "Yeah, this is the type of shark that don't have any teeth."
Dogfish are very innocuous.
Yeah, Nick, it's like rays and stuff like that. They have
all
more
right.
like hard instead of pointed teeth.
I got you.
Dentures.
Yeah, like dentures.
Yeah.
Casey, how were the conditions and how fast can you go on that thing?
So the conditions were perfect.
Yeah.
We got out there just as low tide was ending, and so high tide was coming in. And all right, so I don't know how many cc's his motor is, but it can.
I think
he's
he's got a 90 horsepower. He was telling me.
Okay.
That's more than enough.
But let me ask you this, because we had to gas up right away, and I was like, oh, I'm going to pay for the gas, right? So,
Oh, dude.
Yeah.
So first of all, it's $5 a gallon.
Yeah.
I had $40 on me because I had already paid for the bait. So I handed him 40. It was $90 to fill the tank. So
That's actually not bad.
Yeah.
I remember back in the day, I went with friends that had boats. This was on a much larger lake, and we'd go gas up, and it's like, got to be $225, you know?
I'm like, oh, geez.
Oh yeah, that's so we had boats over many years, and they're just gas bottomless pits.
Yep. Yeah. So my question is, should I buck up the extra 50 that I didn't have?
I think you made the offer. I think you probably should.
Okay.
So who paid? Other people
he
have
paid,
money.
It was $90. He paid with his cards, and I gave him cash. So he paid 50, and I paid 40.
If you said you were going to cover it.
Yeah, okay. I didn't know it was going to be $90.
That's got to be a topic because there was something that I was like, I'll cover it. And it ended up being like hundreds of dollars. And we were like, all right.
No, we can talk about it right now because my neighbor, Steve, who's great, I needed to, when my dad was moving out, we needed to move a mattress and bed and a few other things. He's got a truck. And I'm like, all right, hey, Steve, can I borrow your truck? We just need it. It's literally 2 miles away. And yeah, sure, no problem. So we used it. And Rochelle's like, well, why don't we fill up his tank? It was because it was, like maybe a quarter tank, something like that.
Gesture.
And I'm like, okay. I'm like, we're only going like 2 miles or so. And we get done, and I come back, and I go, Rochelle, it was $95.
Of course.
And she's like, oh, my God. I'm like, yeah. Trucks have very big gas tanks. They use a lot of gas.
And how much was in the gas tank when you borrowed it?
It was like a quarter tank or something like that. So I'm like, okay. Shell just went, and it's a nice gesture.
It's a nice gesture.
But I'm like, I didn't think she understand the amount we were talking about.
I told you this is years ago. It haunts me sometimes. I wake up in a cold sweat. We were out at the Beverly Hilton, I think it was. We were out for Live Aid. This is decades ago. Not Live Aid, Comic Relief. We've flown through WDRE, sent me out, and it's wonderful. And we had this brunch at this restaurant in the hotel, and it was like, oh my God, this is so inexpensive, and the food is so awesome. We're visiting family. We're going to have them all come over, and we'll take care. And tomorrow we'll pay for brunch. Not knowing that was the Saturday special.
Oh, man.
And I'm looking at the numbers, and I literally had to go, Claire, come here. I don't know how we're going to do this. And we were able to make it work, but Jesus Christ. When I started to see like Marlo Thomas and like other celebrities coming into the room for breakfast, I'm like, maybe they want a good deal too.
I just realized, Chuck just sent us a text message. I just realized that he didn't take off 40 of my dollars. He only took, I still have $30 in my wallet. He only took $10.
All right.
So now I owe him $80.
Well, now he's not going to take it from you now that you're complaining about
that
it.
Shark. I felt, believe it or not, I felt bad for the shark because we couldn't get the hook out of his mouth.
That's the whole game of fishing. That's my point.
Oh, man, I felt really, really bad for him. He's a baby.
Yeah, and you probably ripped his insides out and then threw him back in.
Dogfish can be smaller. They're not. I mean, were you sure it was a baby or was it just a standard dog?
Yeah, it was. I don't know. I don't have the picture of it.
How did you
just
remove
cut
it?
the line?
You just cut its head off?
We just cut its head off. And we're like, that's way easier. No, I had one of the children take it off. I didn't want to do it.
Wait, took the hook out?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you left it in there.
No. We had a hard time taking it out, though.
Once you know how to remove a hook, you can. It's easy.
Yeah.
Did you have a pair of pliers or anything?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Did you have any
sometimes you
Orajel?
gotta, you are injuring them.
Yeah.
You know.
And they won't forget.
Yeah. We'll come back someday, knock on the door.
It's me.
Thanks, Shark. Hang on. Jen wanted to comment on paying for something. Hi, Jen. Good morning.
Good morning, Gadzooks.
Gadzooks. What's up, Jen?
Hi. So I'm a teacher, and I taught at Archbishop Carroll. I actually went there, too. And my mom wanted to help out at the school, and she offered to pay for the flowers for an event, thinking it was going to be like $50.
Oh, no.
For a whole event?
Yeah, for like the junior ring day. And it ended up being over $500.
Oh, yeah.
What did she do? Did she pay it?
She panicked and tried to back out, but they were all my friends, so we had to kind of just rally and do it anyway.
Oh, my gosh.
And so you're people trying to do something nice.
Yeah.
And you maybe don't get, and we've all
we'll
been
cover
there.
that.
Yeah.
I'll
It's such
cover
a
that.
nice gesture. Yeah.
We got that. We got the flowers
Yeah,
for the
and
event.
you have no idea. No idea how much it costs. And you've committed to it verbally.
Jen, next time when they just tell us, hey, Casey will get that.
Yeah.
Casey will get that.
Well, we had that with breakfast after Keenan's.
Thanks.
I thought maybe, perhaps, the breakfast might be comped, and it wasn't. So then I had to, with my own money, like
Because you said, did you say I got it?
Yeah,
Yeah, you did.
I had money that was going to cover just in case we had to pay for it. We did, but I had to. It was a big bill, and so the tip I had to cover with my own money, and the tip was like $100.
You know where it's always a blurred line for me, Casey, is when I go out to dinner with my parents because growing up, obviously, they would always take care of the bill.
Yeah.
And now, like, we can both take care of it, but nobody ever declares when we sit down. I took my dad out for his birthday last weekend, and so I was taking him out, and then my mom threw the credit card in. I'm like, well, wait, I'm taking him out. And I never get a clear definition as to, like, when out with your parents, who's picking up the bill?
Oh, my dad's pretty clear. He just doesn't move and he stares at you.
What we'll do a lot of times, Nick, is we'll go to the server on the sly.
And you do it.
Yeah, say, we're going to take care of the bill tonight.
Yeah.
You say, where's the bathroom? And then you duck out the back.
Everybody go.
Come on!
Here's a text says, my father-in-law's 60th birthday went out to dinner. 14 of us.
Oh, no.
Didn't know, but the dinner was being split between his 3 daughters, one being my wife. The bill, $2,600. Yep.
So I will say at the beginning, I'll say, I got this. You know, I get so nervous and so much agita from that back and forth nonsense.
hate that, yeah.
And if someone wants to and they're taking me out because they want and they're going to do something nice, I don't want to kill their joy. And yes, just let me know up front, please. And that's it. And then you don't have to worry.
Here's a text from somebody we were talking about, Chuck's boat, and it says here, I straight up sold my boat because none of the 7 couples that I would take out every year ever offered to pay for gas or food or anything.
Like, come on, man.
They just accepted it to magically coast across the water.
Yeah, I mean, at least bring a cooler or bring something, to like, they're treating you. And boats are freaking expensive.
Yeah, they are.
We've said this adage for many years. The 2 greatest days, the day you buy and the day you sell your boat.
Yeah.
But you know what? Like anything, a boat or you're going to somebody's vacation, like shore house or whatever.
Do something.
Like, just
pay for something.
I would never show up empty-handed. Like whether it's like, you're bringing stuff to eat or you're bringing the alcohol or you're bringing a case of water. Like,
and even
whatever.
if they say no, do it anyway.
Yeah. Don't show up
I
empty-handed.
always walk in with something.
So I had friends who had, the summer beach house that they rented and partied in there. And I had another friend who he didn't pay to be a part of the house. But, dude, I mean, he was there like every weekend, but he made breakfast for everybody. Every Saturday and Sunday morning, he'd get up and he'd be slinging eggs and stuff like that. And that was a way that...
There you go.
All right, I like this text, too. It says, my brother-in-law feels the need to puff his chest and pay for dinner every time the whole family goes out, and my wife started giving me crap for not paying. So now I watch him intently, and then I fumble around with my wallet purposely, taking too much time so that he gets to the waiter first, and then he writes, chess, not checkers.
Oh, my gosh.
Oh, that's nice. All right. I have no idea what this call means, but I'm curious. Let me go to Jack. Hey, Jack, good morning.
Hey, guys. Gadzooks.
Gadzooks, dude. What's up?
Not much. I've called in before. I'm the electrician to help you guys figure out what was wrong with your flickering light.
I remember that. Yeah. All right. What do you want to tell us now, Jack?
I am a general contractor and electrician. As a courtesy to my customers and people that give me leads, I usually buy saltwater tappies and fudge for them.
Oh, okay.
This year I spent $700 on candy alone just to take care of my customers and my contractor friends that give me work.
Oh, my gosh.
What kind of candy costs $700?
Well, I went up buying almost 12 pounds of fudge and about 15 pounds worth of saltwater tappies, plus other candies down at Shriver's down in Ocean City.
Instead of baker's sugar, though, they use cocaine.
Hence the price. Yes. Well, that's nice of you, Jack.
It's great. I like to be able to take it off as a tax write-off when I can.
I write it off. And sometimes I even steal it.
Wait, I had a candy incident once.
All right, thanks, Jack. Appreciate it, bud.
I was staying with my best friend Elisa at her house in Ocean City, and they live there all summer long. So I had Jason. I was like, well, we want to go to the boardwalk, and she's like, oh God, the boardwalk, because her kids do it all the time. So she was like, fine,
All right.
So
all right, Goober.
Well, so her 2 kids. Wait, so her 2 kids are like, can we go to the candy store? And she's like, no. I'm like, come on. I go, it's the shore. Like, let them have fun. She was like, oh, okay. She goes, yeah. She goes, Aunt Kathy's going to take you to the candy store. So I was like, fine, whatever. I am not kidding you. Each one of them, so you walk into this candy store. It's on the Ocean City Boardwalk, and they give you a bucket. Fill the bucket. You can fill the bucket with candy, and I forget whatever the price was on it for the bucket, but I didn't know there was only specific candies you could fill the bucket. So they filled the bucket with whatever the hell they wanted. There was 3 kids, her 2 kids, and Jace. $50 a bucket.
Wow.
I was like, oh, we're going to put our candy back. And then we walked out. She's like, how was the candy store?
So you made him put it back?
No, I let them keep the candy.
No, but yeah, you're in too far at that point.
Yeah, what was I going to do at that point? Like, it was ridiculous.
Wow. Yeah, it can. Sometimes you don't realize what you've gotten yourself into, and it happens.
Well, and one quick brief thing as we come out of this segment, Preston.
Yes.
I think both you and I had the same Tivano experience when boutique tea.
You didn't know.
Holy F.
I didn't know.
Yeah.
Had no idea.
Holy
It was tea.
And what was yours? Like $300?
That was like $200. Yeah.
That was me. I was going to buy, we were going to, for Christmas, they're really into tea. We got a tea sampler from them. Tivano, right? That's what
yeah.
Right. And so they ring it up. I go, this is like $180?
Yeah.
Well, of course it's 100. Yeah, that's what it costs.
Yeah. That's.
I should get two.
I told you, there were people standing in line behind me, and they said the price, and my eyes went huge. And I was like, of course. Yes. Okay. Let's get a little bit more.
Yeah.
That's it?
Yeah. Oh, my
Where's your bathroom?
Wow. All right. Well, anyhow, we need to take a break, so we're going to do that very thing. We'll come back in just a moment or two, so stay put. Why don't you?
Preston and Steve on 93.3.
Birthday coming here. I said, why don't you come tonight? She comes with her two kids, like 20, 22, 23 years old. 15 minutes into the show, massive heart attack.
Oh, my God.
Whoa.
No one knows this, though.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the team is working on them. We walk everybody out. They say she's gone. I think people knew. But there wasn't a dryer in the house.
Yeah.
Nobody thought that was funny at all.
Right.
And, we did another show. They left it on me. You want to do another show? I said, yeah, we have to do it. Our job is happy.
Yeah.
Right.
Our job is happy. So we need to, we're like a fireman. Theirs is fire.
Yeah.
Ours is happy. So we did another show. But as people were going out nice and orderly, I mean, even the dishwashers were over there, in the corner like, man, this black woman, beautiful, looks me right in the eyes. She says, isn't this beautiful? And I'm like, what are you talking about? She said, of all the things that God could have used to walk her up to heaven, he used your show. It could have been cancer, car accident, shot, whatever. And I was like, now I know what Elton John's talking about. Philadelphia freedom, bro.
Yeah. That's wild to think about that.
Yeah.
And it also, I'm sure it gives you an extra appreciation because it's inherently you want to, as a comedian or someone does anything with the music, you want to connect.
Yeah. And comedy's all the ways around because I was still feeling like, oh man, how could that happen to me? What's going on?
Now I've got this.
I saw Smokey Robinson on the plane.
Yeah.
Comedy follows me to love me. You know what I mean? And I go to him and I go, hey, man, Smokey, has this ever happened to you?
Mm-hmm.
And I told him what happened. He said, nah, man, it's never happened to me, man. He said, but invite all your enemies to your next show because you killing them, baby.
Shut up. That's great.
I have to bring this up, too, because you had last night the Golden Globes. There was a couple of Will Smith references. You had your own Will Smith encounter. Explain what went down.
Almost something like Chris.
Yeah.
But it never happened, and I'm glad it didn't. And I was really happy about what happened.
Right.
For two reasons. One, I didn't have to feel guilty about what happened with me because he's such a great guy. Last thing I wanted to say was, hey, man, me and him almost got in a fight.
Right.
So that was a secret of mine.
Uh-huh.
And when that happened, I was happy that I was lifted off of that. That it's not just me.
You didn't have the exact same experience. You had a tense thing, but that didn't manifest in a full thing.
Yeah, it'd have been a mutual smack or punch or something.
Right.
It was going to that, and luckily Jada was there. She was, hey guys, and I was like, no, you tell him. And
you were in I believe you were in a movie.
With her,
and you kissed her in the movie.
I didn't find out what it was about until 18, 19 years later.
Wow.
I didn't even know why he did
you find out from him?
Yeah, I did. because in the book, I wrote it.
Yeah.
And then my author was like, you can't put this in here because you got to get the rights done for them.
Right.
So this was bothering me. I didn't know if that was the reason. You know, I did want to put it in the book. You know, and so I sent it to him.
Yeah.
And him and Jada wrote me an email back and said, it did really happen, man. Put it.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So he was kind of fuming.
I mean, he's just, you know, kind of human.
Yeah.
You know? So that's the second reason why I was happy.
Okay.
Because whatever that is, that fueled that energy that he came at me or Chris with, he's got an opportunity to deal with it.
Right.
In one life.
And you know,
how many of us have that opportunity to not only have success, you know, but then to have some internal success about growing.
We were just talking about that, about how you process, how you deal with those things that set you off, or those things that you and you talk about it. It's a large part of your existence is bettering yourself. How do I become the best version of myself? And so you want to always hope that people have that, they can reclaim their better selves.
Yeah, and that, I mean, you know, and that it was great to see.
Yeah.
You know, I've been through my down the toilets.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And through the love of people around me, you know, and a good universe, you know, pulled through it.
Yeah.
So you know, it's you know, we're in this place. We're in this place where we got reward systems and this, that, and the other thing, the things we reach for.
Did you have to learn that? It sounds like with your mother on your side early on, it sounds like you were getting a really good instruction on how to approach life. Or did you have weaker moments where you had become less than what you wanted to be?
Yeah, I went to Earth University with everybody.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, I got a degree.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, so it, you know, there was times that was a problem. You know, with them being white and me being black and stuff that we went through, and you know, it's just the road.
Yeah.
You know, it's the road we're on.
Tommy, what was it like achieving the success of In Living Color? Because, you know, that I'm always curious as to how fame and fortune affect individuals. And you've had an interesting life. And that In Living Color blew up. You know, it was huge for a stretch. And so I'm curious as to how it affected you.
You know what? For one, the main thing is that I just got touched by a freaking angel.
Yeah.
You know, to have that show in my life.
And did you know that at the time?
We knew.
Yeah.
We knew we were going to be touched by something because we were all the best at the time. So when we walked in the door and looked at each other, we said, we're doing a show together?
Yeah, think of that cast.
Yeah. Oh, it's like the X-Men meeting for the first time. You know, what? It's like, you know what I mean? So it was that thing, you know, and then, you know, come the changes of success.
Right.
You know, we were like family. You know, we go to lunch every day, dinner every day. You know, and we didn't know anything about fame. I didn't think we couldn't have, because when it came, it was just like a freaking. Did you see the Blob?
Yes, sure. Both of them.
Yeah, it's just no getting away from it. It comes from an event. You know, it's hard. You know, you can't shoot it. I mean, it's like, you know, it's nothing. You can't shoot it. You can't burn it.
Cold.
And it's coming at you nice and slow.
Yeah.
You know, I'm taking my time. You know what I mean? You know, and it's kind of like that thing, you know, and so, you know, that's a surviving thing. That's the thing to survive.
You met Keenan at a party, or he'd come to see you. He saw you happened to be on set of a show you were on.
He saw me plenty of times when I was coming up.
Okay.
At the clubs.
We had him in the studio on his birthday a few years ago.
Okay,
it was a surprise.
Awesome.
60th birthday.
Oh, he's something else.
Awesome.
Man. He's something else. And you know, it was just he knew he's the Dr. Xavier.
Yeah.
Of the whole thing.
He's Professor X?
He knew who the mutants were.
Yeah.
He just took us to the danger room. We got it all together and said, okay, now go get them.
Yeah.
We got too dangerous.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
We got too dangerous. He would come. He said, you guys can do whatever you want. And then if you have something, we can always do another take. And blah, 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 blah. Boy, by the end of that season, he was like, he would come in the room and go, hey, look, man, look at me, you guys. We're going to get canceled, man. You cannot. You know, we're laughing.
That's what always happens, though.
We're laughing.
Yeah.
How long was the run?
5 years.
5 years. It's
seems like longer, right?
It was in my wheelhouse. It was one of those things that I never missed it every single week. And
Casey, it was the must quote, must Did you see that?
Oh, yeah.
That was it.
Yeah.
And you know, having this job,
Radio was what made us.
Yeah.
You know?
Having this job has allowed me to meet a lot of the stars of that show. So having you here, you know, on multiple occasions is a huge honor for me. We've had David Allen Greer sit in that seat. Like you said, Keenan, Sean Marlon Wayans. We haven't had Jim Carrey in here yet.
Okay.
You know, but, you know,
He's here.
What's that? Is he here?
Yeah.
Surprise!
He's on the roof crying. What are you crying about?
He's been a little emotional lately.
He's on the roof crying right now. No, that's we were friends before in Living Color.
Yeah.
Yeah, our daughters are the same age. You know, we were comic at the Comedy Store, so we do birthday parties and stuff like that. Now they're 35.
Yeah,
you know, we knew each other back then, and then once the show came along, so you know, we have a through line.
Yeah.
That came before it.
He and Damon Wayans are two that I would love
too.
to meet.
Yeah.
Love to meet those guys.
Yeah, you know, I just, you know, we all just got really lucky.
Yeah.
You know,
No,
like,
you didn't.
like we can be.
Luck plus talent.
Yeah.
equals
Yeah,
the
you
end
gotta have
result.
both
of them,
Yeah, you got to have both of them. But the thing is that I always try to give this advice. Never, you know, what you see is always realize that there are people that can do exactly that, and there's a whole tremendous amount of people out there with extraordinary talent that you'll never know about because the break didn't happen for
That's
them.
right.
You know?
Yeah, except now there's YouTube and you can see them there.
Yeah. But, you know, it seems like the way of this thing we live on.
Yeah.
This blue thing we live on, you know. We could go to the grocery store and see like heaps and heaps of ice cream. You see trucks.
Yeah.
Mack trucks full of cookies and this, that, and the other thing. And, you know, I go to Djibouti, Africa, or Mexico, or somewhere like that, or even Detroit, you know, and people are under a bridge with, you know, a cracker.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You know, so it's where we live, you know, and you know, I think the whole forever thing, you know, got kind of pulled.
Yeah.
Because we don't need to be here that long.
Yeah.
You know, we need to just do it right, and leave it up to eternity.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
No, it's a very healthy attitude.
Yeah.
If you're just tuning in, it's Tommy Davidson who's going to be at World Cafe Live tonight. Tickets are on sale. You can get them at worldcafelive.com. It's funny music is the name of the show. How
people are going home. I thought that was Dr. Phil on there, man. Dr. Phil got a black accent all of a sudden.
How are you finding that the music and comedy live are playing together? Is it a nice? You love the balance?
Yeah, it's a good balance, but there's two different art forms.
Yeah,
and they're
it's all about timing now.
Music, boy, I tell you, music is like a beautiful woman. It's like, you know, you ain't gonna know what to do no matter what.
That's a great way to put it.
You ain't gonna know what to do no matter what.
It's an essential. We've talked on the show. Occasionally, you'll come across somebody who says, "I'm not into music." There's nothing available to you that you can find that you enjoy, because it is literally it's what the station has been about for years, providing a soundtrack for people's lives.
I know.
You know.
I know. You know, hey, you know, like I said, we're on this blue chip now.
Yeah.
And just that little bit of the song we played, I heard a little, and that's all that I've heard of it, unfortunately. But I'll listen to it more. I heard almost a little Al Jarreau. Type of thing in
That's
there.
you know, this is a business, right?
Yeah.
And so, you know, I had to think strategy. You know, how am I going to enter into the music business? I wanted to do it in a genuine way. I wanted to be able to come in here and do something that I could do really, really well for a certain audience.
Right.
Because the way that things are now, divided into social media and all of this stuff, you know, I'm somebody who can be eating a pickle on the porch couch in Buffalo can critique my album. You know what I mean? It's like, you know, it's like, you know what I mean? So I don't know if I want to subject myself. You know what I mean?
You got to impress the pickle guy.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Never get a picture of the person that made the comment. You know what I mean? You know, I don't think Tommy Davidson's album is, you know, and you look and he's, you know, he's over a paint bucket. You know what I mean? You know, he's got a living room couch from the 70s on his porch. Right. You know, with kittens. You know what I mean? It's February, you know what I mean? So, you know what I mean? So
it sounds very specific.
Yeah, it's very specific.
Who knew he was a jazz fan?
Yeah, it's very specific. You know, I got that from from when what was it, Amazon?
Yeah.
Or whatever, went to do my book.
Yeah.
And so they had comments,
Mm-hmm.
and this is when I discovered that comments and social media is like the bathroom stall. Anybody can say something, everybody gets to read it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And you're not
At
going
the
to
Pickle Festival and says, "Hey, Presbo, you told my girlfriend to lick her fingers from the stage after sticking her hand in your pickle jar, and now it's a kink for us." I'm glad I could help. We were handing out samples of Preston's picks.
Yes.
From Fishtown Pickle Project, and people were reaching into the jar. I'm like, I hope you guys don't mind reaching into the same jar. And they were just like, they were like piranhas. And everybody was reaching their hands. They couldn't get those last few pickles at the bottom, so they would just get pickle juice all over their fingers. I'm like, lick your fingers. And they started doing, and they had passed around the jar, and everybody was drinking out of it.
This is almost like Caligula level decadence. Yeah.
Fanatics, yeah. Nick, you wanted to give a shout out.
Yeah, this is from our buddy Andrew. Andrew's the best beer guy in the biz. He works at the ballpark. You can always see him in the outfield, and he also works at the Wells Fargo Center. But if you're going to any Phil's games this year, make sure you buy a beer from Andrew because he's just the best. But he's also a welder, so he does has two jobs, and they're welding a bridge right now in Princeton, New Jersey. And just so this is for Andrew and Brian Pike. You are a loser.
Oh, he wanted to pass that.
That's right.
That message along.
Yeah.
There it is.
Fair enough. We can do that. Hey, I wanted to chat real quick about something that Casey had mentioned to us off air. That you would. Well, why don't you set it up?
I will set this up for you. So I have a friend, and we actually all know this person. And this person's son is a graduating senior, and they're doing lots of fun little senior activities. This one I don't think is sanctioned by the school, but it was a senior scavenger hunt. And part of said senior scavenger hunt was somebody on the team needed to get branded with a hot coin.
Oh,
that's not scavenger.
That's not a scavenger hunt item.
That's a hazing.
Yeah.
So it's interesting you should say that because when I saw this scar on this person, not knowing anything, I just saw the scar. I didn't know anything about it prior to. I looked at it and I go, who burnt you with a quarter? And he goes, oh, it was a penny. And the only reason I said that is because my friend, as part of a pledging activity, got branded with a quarter. Wow. And so I just had to find this out. I was like, because I couldn't remember if he got branded during high school. I thought it was during high school, but it was for this guy, it was during college.
So this branding thing is crazy. I didn't realize so he... For a scavenger hunt, he let himself get branded?
And I don't know if I don't know how many teams were playing, if every team had the same items that they had to fill off of said list.
That's usually the way it works.
Yeah.
Right?
Was alcohol involved in this?
No, they're not of age, Kathy.
Because listen... How many of us
was.
Do we have friends that get tattoos when they've had a few drinks and then they wake up and they're like, oh God.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I remember a while ago it seemed like that branding thing was all the rage. That you would see.
Well, it's
people,
a fraternity thing, definitely.
Right. So you'd see people getting branded, and it was like as tattoos, and then a lot of people would opt to get branded, which to me had sort of a prison-y kind of thing, It looks kind of weird, but
I would love to see what other items were on the scavenger hunt.
Yeah.
Because we did one our senior year as well, and it was on, it might have been on we had a thing called Senior Sleep Out, and it was essentially everybody stayed out all night and drove around in their cars, and then the next day you go into school with no sleep whatsoever, and it was horrible. But anyway, there was a scavenger hunt, and
anything like this on the list?
Not branding, but there were a police car license plate.
Right.
There was there were really tough items to get. One of the ones was a neighborhood sign. So at the front of some neighborhoods is like a big sign that'll say
Grover Falls,
Wheatfields, whatever. Whatever the name of the neighborhood is, you need a truck.
Yeah.
First of all, you got to get that thing out, and then you got a truck, and then all these items had to be dropped off in front of the school, and a couple of people did that, and that was the last time I think we ever had a scavenger hunt thing involved with. It wasn't directly sanctioned by the school, obviously.
Yeah, well, some of those are felonies.
There were definitely illegal things on there, a lot of illegal things, but there were no physical sacrifices that needed to be made, like branding yourself.
What about that night when you were being inducted into the Pharaohs, Preston?
Hey, question.
Yeah.
So for this scavenger hunt, did everybody have to meet up at the end of the night and show their items to?
You know what? I don't know.
Like a head honcho who would deem a winner.
Yeah.
All of these questions did not get asked because we were like,
you were marveling at the Rays.
Listen, man. I mean, the burn was bad. I mean, it's.
Was there proper ointment or anything put on it?
Now there is. Now that everything is said and done, like they went out and got like the proper antibiotics and proper ointments. And listen, I've burned myself a couple of different times, and you have to take that stuff serious, especially when it's. I would say the burns that he got were somewhere between 2nd and 3rd degree burns.
Wow.
You had
it was
burning
gnarly.
penny on you,
dude. A nasty burn. God, does that hurt?
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God, does that hurt?
So this coloration on my hand here is from a cigarette burn at we were at Kutcher's in the Catskills going into a Charlie Callis show, Preston. When I was like 4 or 5 years old, my father was smoking and turned around and it hit my hand. So that's from that long ago. So I'm hard pressed to believe that the burn from a penny into your skin is ever going to fade.
I burned my my lower inside left ankle on a muffler when I was in 8th grade. It was a muffler of a moped, and I just seared it onto the moped. I mean, the scar is still there, but I did that on a Sunday afternoon. By Monday after school, I couldn't walk. I had burned so many nerves at the end of my leg that I was. My mom didn't think because I had to go to the doctor. I literally had to crawl from the waiting room, and my mom was like, "Get up!"
I'll tell you one thing on the positive side. I'll tell you this: you ever want to join MS-13? Show them your moped burn. They'll let you right in.
I'd burned myself many times on a tailpipe of a motorcycle.
Yes.
If you wore shorts,
oh my
you
God,
accidentally put your like on your inner thigh. Oh my God, that's a sensitive area too.
Yeah.
Going back to the burn thing, there were a couple of guys in my back from high school that would do bowl burns, Casey.
What is that?
So with a pot pipe, a metal one, they get really, really hot. And you can either just from smoking it gets really, really hot, or you could literally hold a lighter to it and light it up. And I knew a couple of people who had a circle burn from that, and they would do it
purposely.
You would know they were going to do it. Like they would hit you with
didn't
it,
know it was coming?
and it'd be like, oh mother effer, man. I unfortunately never ever happened to me. I thought that was crossing the line in my mind.
To me, that blows my mind because I've been following the site now on Instagram. You talk about going down these holes, and all they do, Preston, is they take a metal ball and they heat it up to red hot.
Yes.
And they put it on things.
Did you watch the chocolate milk one?
Yeah. It shoots a straight stream.
Yeah. So they'll heat it up to like 1,000 degrees.
1,000 degrees and then just put it on things.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome.
So I'm like, whoa, no burning pennies.
Yeah.
What about, is this funny or is this a dick move? When you say to somebody, hey, have you ever seen a match burn twice?
That's a dick move.
That's a dick move,
Yeah.
right? Okay.
Yeah, burning somebody, dick move.
Dick move, right?
Period.
Yeah.
Yeah, not cool. But I'm surprised this person did that.
Well, I'm interested.
Voluntarily.
I'm interested to see if this is the only one of that graduating class.
Where on his body did you say?
He did it right here.
Where?
Where the front chest, where the armpit and chest meet, like right there.
I mean, there's a lot of fat there, but I don't know if there's any place where it wouldn't be painful.
But my buddy, his is on his arm. It's just straight up on his bicep.
I assume the most pain-free place to do it would be just under your testicle.
Yeah,
just
your taint.
like in your taint.
Would probably be
the
There's
backside
not
of
a
your
bundle
balls.
of nerve
All right, hold
endings there.
still.
Yeah. This isn't going to hurt.
God.
In fact, we have one of those, I think. Do we have? Wait, I got to make sure I have the right one here.
Is this Joe? Yeah, that was the moment that Joe received his taint tattoo and the needle hit the spot.
That's a great sound. That is a terrific sound.
Well, and he was kind of. I think he was so nervous because, Case, you said it wasn't.
Why wouldn't
no,
you
it
be?
hurt.
Oh,
Yeah,
it hurt.
That's a nerve bundle.
Yeah. Because I gave him so much crap, I wanted to tap out. I couldn't.
Oh, God.
I wanted to
all right,
tap
so it
out the
was
second it started. I was like, oh, this is.
Did it end there for Joe, or did it keep going?
It kept going.
Did it? Okay.
Yeah. Oh, please. It's almost like the scene, it's, oh, no. Oh, please, don't stop. Keep going.
Yeah. Did he finish it?
You did.
I finished.
Yeah, I
it.
don't
Joe
think
didn't.
Joe tapped out.
He tapped out.
Yeah.
Imagine having to go through life with a partial monkey tattoo on your taint.
Oh, man. Going back to the burning thing, and I know I've told you guys this story before, but one of the nastiest, there were a couple times I had really bad burns. One was, I was a cigarette smoker at the time, and something was wrong with my car. I had the hood up. It was a hot summer day. I remember that, and I was looking over I was hanging over the engine looking for whatever. I don't remember what was wrong with the car. And I had the cigarette, I held it backwards. So the filter was away from me, and the cherry was towards me. For whatever reason, I held it that way, and I'd forgotten I held it that way, and I put it right up to my lips, and I put my lips right on.
Oh, man.
Oh, my God. Oh, man, oh, man. And then one of the worst ever burns I had was on my hand. It was, we were at my buddy Danny's house. There was an electrical storm. The lights went out. It was at night. We were having kind of a pseudo hang. It was like my band buddies were there and some girls and stuff. So we were partying. We're doing tequila shots and all this stuff. And so Danny had a kerosene lantern.
Oh, boy.
And had lit that. And Steve was the old ornate type that had the big glass.
I know it well.
Part over the top.
Know it well.
And so we had that going for, I don't know, an hour or whatever. The lights came back on. Great. Turn the heat, turn the flame off on the lantern. And at some point, I went to move it, and I grabbed that glass part, and like it was immediately excruciating. And I don't know how many shots of tequila in I'm at this point. It did not matter.
No,
it did not deaden that pain at all. It was one of the worst shocks of pain I've ever had.
Were you second degree on your way to
Probably,
third?
yeah, because I don't have any permanent scarring.
Yeah, right.
But I mean, bubbled up, the blister immediately formed, and I was like, oh, it was horrible.
There's nothing, I mean, that kind of pain. My sister-in-law for years worked as, a burn trauma nurse. That, I mean, it's got to be the worst scenario. Kane Hodder, who played Jason Voorhees, right? So he had a pyro stunt go wrong. And so basically what happens is he describes it as you're in this rigid, burned skin shell.
Yeah.
That any movement is just excruciating.
So my friend Harvey Dent, same thing happened to him.
Wow.
Yeah.
And he had been an up-and-comer. They said he was poised to be the mayor.
He's like a white knight, that guy.
He was. Not the hero we need, but the hero we deserve, I guess.
And then, of course, people would always say, what's wrong with your face? Because, they could see the muscles and his chin bone.
I want to see this one. This one sounds interesting. Nick, it seems to be out of sequence here.
Yeah, I'm having trouble.
So it says, I had this staff member from one of the group home, lockdown facilities when I was a preteen, named James. He was huge and had a blood branding on his arm.
Oh.
I don't know what a blood branding
I think Bloods and Crips.
Blood is in the
There's
the
Bloods,
gang.
Crips, and 4-H Club.
Watch out for those 4-H'ers, man.
Dude, they know their way around like animals and stuff.
Oh, my God.
It says, when I tell you he was probably the best, most patient, and probably my favorite staff member growing up. I'm not BS. I just wish I saw him again because he was more family to me than most of my actual family. Okay, whatever. But he had a big old branding on him. Wow.
My mother had a Crips brand on her forehead.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
On her forehead?
Oh, yeah. She was no pussy.
Was she even in the gang?
No, but she just liked the way it looked.
Okay.
She said it reminded her of the 4-H Club.
All right. Is this Dan Bacon? Is that what it says? Okay, hang on. We're going to go to him. His last name is Bacon. Hi, Dan. Good morning.
Hey, guys. How you doing?
Good. What's up, bud?
Nothing. Half black listener here.
Oh,
black listener.
Are you from Jersey?
No.
We're getting you the Jersey Black Rock, but sorry about that. All right. Anyway,
Not a problem.
Go ahead, bud.
I was making breakfast for my family, and my girlfriend told me, it's a bad idea to cook bacon naked. I said, well, I think I can handle it. Apparently, on my way to put the bacon grease down, I spilled it all over both of my feet.
Dude, listen, if you just got the feet, you win. Because if you're naked, it could have been way worse.
It could have been much, did I mention much worse?
Yeah.
Wow. But ironic, your last name is Bacon and you were burnt by bacon grease.
I thought so, yes.
I like
I
it.
fully recovered and my feet are fine.
Well, even if you don't spill it, the spat, yeah.
Yeah, we always say, it's as smart as cooking bacon with your shirt off.
Right, yeah.
It's not recommended.
Right. All right. Thank you, Dan. Appreciate it, bud.
Thank you, guys.
All right. See ya. All right. John has a burning story to relay as well. Hey, John, good morning.
Good morning. How we doing?
Good, buddy. What's up?
When I was 6, I tried to get as close as I could to a nightlight. And I got awfully close and burnt the tip of my nose. The only problem is the next day, my mom had scheduled pictures for my brother and sister and I. And there are photos with me with a big scab on the end of my nose.
There was no way to cover it over?
No. You know those old nightlights, they got hot.
Yeah, they did. Most definitely.
I mean, you even come close to touching one of them, you burn your finger.
Yep. All right.
I decided, let me see how close I can get with my nose.
Thank you, John. I appreciate it. Yeah,
have a good one.
A light bulb. I mean, that's what they used to use for the Easy Bake Oven.
Yeah.
That was a light bulb. It was a heating unit.
I remember it clearly, and then they recalled. Well, they didn't. They stopped making them that way, and they put another heating element into it.
Right.
I told you, there was a toy, and we've brought it up on the screen here in the studio, Creeple People makers, and it was essentially liquid rubber. And you would put it into the Creeple People maker, and it was like a kiln, except it was exposed. And this thing got awful hot. Yeah. And I burned myself a couple of times on this thing, all to make these little creature heads that would go on the end of your pencil.
And you guys remember when I burned your producer?
Yes, I do. I loved it.
That was hilarious.
I loved it. This guy that... we're not going to say any names, but anyhow, he was a douchebag. And he worked with us. And Casey had...
We were changing a light bulb in the
air studio.
And he handed it to him, and his hands touched a part of it that was hot, and he started doing a little juggling thing. And he's like throwing it all over the place.
Like a cartoon.
Yeah, and running out of the room with it. It was hilarious.
Yeah.
Because none of us liked him.
No one liked him.
Oh, yeah.
And then he goes, why would you do that? Like, I didn't know.
And then
the part that I was touching wasn't hot.
We looked at each other and we said, we need that guy to be our producer.
There was another time, same guy. I used to keep a baseball bat in the studio. I don't know why I had it. I would pick it up in the air, kind of twirl it around, and
you think better with your bat.
Yeah, exactly. Straight out of A Few Good Men. And I would leave it right by my area. And one time I guess he didn't like me having it in there. And he had accidentally kicked it. And then as he kicked it, it went on the ground. And then he stepped on it and he slipped on it. And he picked up the bat and he's like, get this freaking bat. He's like throwing all.
He's like Fred Flintstone.
I thought that was hilarious.
Yeah.
It was great.
As if the bat attacked him.
Yeah, exactly. Wow. But branding on purpose. I
especially as a scavenger hunt thing, that doesn't compute with me.
Maybe it's like a ritual of we're all going to be brothers in branding or whatever.
Scavenging.
Yeah.
Scavenging.
But I mean, as you would being blood brothers, so they're doing that type of thing.
All right,
there's some kind of a connection
Kung
thing
Fu.
to that.
When you leave the Shaolin Temple, you put your arms around the cauldron and you have your dragon and your tiger on the other arm. What about the Nexium cult?
Oh my God!
Kathy, I don't know if you ever saw these guys.
No.
There was a subgroup that started to form. It was actually the girl from the TV series Smallville was overseeing the branding of women with the symbol for this cult, and it was above the vaginal area.
Wow.
Well, and the symbol that they thought had some kind of very special meaning to it, Kath, it was explained to them. It turned out to be the initials of the cult leader and I think maybe one other person that was in the tops, and they had just kind of changed it.
That was it.
Moved the angles around so you couldn't quite tell that it was actually initials.
Literally branding these women like cattle.
With just his initials.
Yes.
Yeah, it was pretty.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Ugh. No, thank you, man. Just the burning in general on purpose.
The thing also with a burn of any, at least a couple of times that I've been burned, it's almost like a kick in the nuts. There's like a nanosecond, like,
Yeah.
Well, and I told you guys this before. I don't remember it, but when I was a baby, I put my hands on the oven and burnt both of my hands. There's pictures of me as a baby. Both were wrapped up, and my mom said they had to keep them wrapped, for a while. But I still think that's why I never.
You don't have fingerprints, do you?
Not that I don't have them. They don't read on the digital machine.
That's
so I have to, whenever I have to get fingerprints done, because you guys know I'm a criminal, so I always get my fingerprints done. No, they have to do like the old school way where they put it in the ink.
Hang on, let me go to a call. I have John, who was branded at one point. Hi, John. Good morning.
Oh my good.
Oh my good. Wait, did I say that one morning?
Yeah.
All right.
Probably.
John, I've had so many of those, I've forgotten them, man. What's up, bud?
So I was at a party one night, indulging in some beverages, sitting around a bonfire pit. A friend of mine drops his can into the fire pit right around the edge. I, being the smart guy of the group, reach in, run my arm right across the edge of the bonfire pit, and I still, to this day, this was probably about 8 years ago, I still to this day have the brand down my left arm.
Did you do it on purpose?
I reached in on purpose. I didn't run my arm on it on purpose.
Right. So that was just the fun collateral damage.
Yeah.
So how many inches are we talking?
It's probably about 3 inches across and an inch and a half down.
Yeah,
Wow.
man.
Does it look cool?
No.
Okay. All right.
it does not.
You talk about bonfires and you
Thanks,
talk
John.
about the Christopher Titus, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And he
What happened? I forgot.
He fell into a bonfire.
bonfire,
Yeah, the comedian Christopher Titus, the TV series.
He
and
stepped in by accident, right?
I think, and then he fell over into it. There was also the story of the dude in the Burning Man who ran into the friggin' fire.
yeah.
And then there was that other story, the people who threw the keg into the fire.
Yep, it does happen. Yeah,
Fire is going to burn.
Fire bad.
Fire bad. Fire in the sky.
Yeah. All right. Well, I was, I had not heard this story before.
Yeah.
Of that being a part of a scavenger hunt. Probably not a good idea. You can don't check that one off the list.
Yes.
You can do it. You can do other
Sorry,
things.
we lost, guys.
Yeah, there's.
It's okay to lose that one.
right. Yeah. All right. Well, we need to take a break because we've got the beef hour coming up. Also, going to tell you what the Preston and Steve Day Off at Dorney word is for you to enter and possibly win yourself a 4-pack of tickets to the event. It's very simple, and we will explain. We're broadcasting live from there on July 11th, and very much looking forward to that, and hopefully you can be a part of it. We'll take a break and be back in a moment. Stay where you are.
Preston and Steve.
Let me write this number down. Let me quote that. You know what I mean? So all these comments were there, right? I love the book. This is great. You know, some of the stuff bothered me, but you know, all in all, this, that, and then there was one comment that said, you know, I really liked Tommy Davidson until I read the book.
Huh.
And I'm like, you know, Amazon, why'd you have to put that? Like the owner can go to the moon. Yeah. The owner can go to the moon on his own money.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, why can't you leave out one bad thing that someone would say about it? That bad. I mean, there's no redeeming quality in none of that. That's just like I used to like him.
Yeah.
And now I don't like him because of the book. So it's like saying, I don't like him because of who he is.
Yeah. Right.
I found out who he is in the book.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But you know, we talk about the joke, and it's the classic joke is you get 200 great reviews, and that one that stinks.
Yeah.
What?
I know.
Yeah.
But I know the real thing.
No, you know.
The real thing is, you know, that person got loved.
Yeah.
And don't know what it's like. You know, but at least they got loved.
Yeah.
Because they got loved in one way or the other. Because they had to say it. You know, they had to say it. So they read it.
Yeah.
I got a text on one of the past as long as we do have to wrap up, unfortunately. But this person says,
doggone it!
It says, Tommy's story is amazing. Thank him for being a beautiful human being, especially for what he went through.
Yeah.
So there's some great comments.
I will say that I used to like Tommy before this interview. Now I love him.
Now you love him.
Now
Thank
I
you.
love him.
Looking out on my lonely room, day after.
Is that Badfinger?
Yeah.
It's a great song.
I'm going to get your book.
What was it? Who was that?
Oh, yes. Roundabout.
You gonna change your ways.
Yes, meet Sammy Davis.
Now I remember the last
That was Sammy Davis Jr. doing yes.
I remember the last time we had you in, you immediately just launched into Philadelphia Freedom just like that. Before I even asked you one question.
Yeah, but I got a new Sammy verse. I got my eye, it's out. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
I love it.
Well, World Cafe live tonight.
Yeah, thank you. Now I got a new one.
Funny music with Tommy Davidson and Marcus Mitchell on sax. I wanted to mention him because you were talking about radio. So,
come out and have some fun.
Listen,
I'll be there.
It's wonderful to see you. Thanks for coming through.
Thank you,
today.
man. You guys are still here. Like radio still exists.
Yeah.
Oh, this is
It's for you.
You know what I mean?
This is Roundabout, by the way. It's got a long intro.
It does.
I would have gotten to it, but we got to take a break.
Shows tonight.
Thank you.
We know
so
what you
much.
mean.
Yeah.
WorldCafeLive.com to get tickets to see Tommy Davidson. We're going to take a break, right? It's our buddy Tom Papa calling him?
Yeah, we got cool.
So we'll come back.
We got cool.
We got
We got cool.
Casey. I've done something like that so many times that I can't bust your balls about it. We'll come back in a second with Tom Papa. We got cool. Stay there. We'll be right back.
Preston and Steve on 93.3 WMMR.
This Saturday, the Keswick Theater is going to light up with the comedy stylings of our next guest. He's a friend of the show. We love having him on. He's one of my absolute favorite. Please give some love to Mr. Tom Papa. This morning. Yay. It's early. Hi, Tom. Nice to see you, sir. Tom's joining us via Zoom this morning. You look bright-eyed and bushy-tailed.
Thank you. Nice to see you. Yeah, well, you know, it's you have a Cracker Jack staff over there. Casey sent me a reminder that we have the interview today at 4:30 a.m.
It's better than nothing.
He knows I was sitting there waiting for confirmation in the middle of the night here in L.A.
I imagine you sitting like in a big lounge chair with a little glass of scotch and just waiting, just anticipating the moment at which you get to talk to us.
Stroking my cat. When will they call?
Like Blofeld.
You know, I talked to Tom 5 minutes ago in the other room, and I told him that I failed at my job, and then you brought it on air.
Well, see, this wouldn't be an issue if you were East Coast.
Yeah.
You know, but
I know. It makes me very angry. I was like, every time I come on, I'm like, well, next time when I come through, I'm coming in the studio for crying out loud.
Yeah.
And I've got to be in Nashville the night before, so it always blows it.
Well, the draw obviously was you love to surf, and that's why you ended up out there.
Yeah, I'm big into surfing. I love yoga. I'm doing the 1970s version of California.
Yeah, exactly. The endless
everybody
summer.
Everybody else has moved on. I'm walking around with my chest hair out, gold chains, just tangled in my spooky cobweb body hair.
It's funny you mentioned that because there's a commercial with Mark Spitz on now. It's for some sort of colonoscopy in a box or something like that. But Mark Spitz was like that, exactly what you just the matted chest hair and the medallion.
There's a line in the song Macho Man from the classic Village People,
right?
Where he goes, "You see all this hair on my chest?" I'm like, wow, man, that was really that was it.
That's over now.
There was definitely
people were turned on by that, I guess.
So Tom, you're gonna be at the Keswick on Saturday, and I feel like you're almost exclusively when you come to this area, almost exclusively you play the Keswick Theater, and I'm not sure if that is your choice, management, or but I just I love that
theater.
It's a great theater.
So
it's
good.
A great little town and everything like that. So
town.
do you inform your booking manager where you want to play?
Yeah, it's kind of like a back and forth conversation, but I do love that place, and they kind of cultivated me coming up, and the real reason I wanted to go back, especially this time, was the Keswick was the last show I did before the pandemic.
Oh, wow.
That was, I remember I was in the lobby, I was signing books. You know, at the end of my shows, I sign books and meet the people. And I was out there and people were like, should we shake hands? Is this okay? And everybody was all kind of screwy. And then I got on the plane the next morning at 6 o'clock in the morning. I'm on the plane and I'm like, wow, this is getting weird. I wonder if I'm going to be doing stand-up next week. And Paula Poundstone,
the
great comedian Paula Poundstone, comes onto the plane and she sees me and she just leans in and goes, we're effed.
No, it's funny you say that because that's happening a lot. This Friday, I'm hosting a charity event for the Morse Animal Refuge here in Philadelphia. It was the last event that night, you know, a big gala. I remember everyone had that same sort of, what's going on here? What's going on? Things are going on. I lost an iPad that night, so I remember, you know, the whole thing. And this Friday, it's like, the sense is we're picking up where we left off because it's the first event back of that nature, which is kind of, it feels right.
Yeah. It does, and it feels like a milestone for sure. I'm a little concerned. I thought you said I lost my eye patch.
It turned out I realized I have a functional second eye, and why have I been wearing this?
People say the pandemic's bad, but I was able to use both eyes for the first time.
It's a joy.
Oh man!
But the theater thing.
Yeah, but I'm really psyched for sure, and it's there's only some tickets left. There's not. I came on because I really want to sell the place out. I just want it to be like this triumphant kind of like return.
Well, you're a dear friend of the show, so we please help Tom realize his goal. And if honestly, you're so good at what you do, and I think over this period, which no one would want to say, hey, I hope we have a pandemic, but I think what you do, how you've done it. The way you've approached thematically your shows, I think it's meant a lot to people. So I'm sure you've got, you know, people will need to seize upon this opportunity to see you live after all this time.
Thank you. It is funny that now that I've been out for a bit, and you know, you do see all the people. And like I said, I sign books at the end of every show, and I get to see all these people that have been like they travel. Like, you know, I used to just kind of skip out the back.
Right
now, you're actually sitting and signing books, and people come up and you forget, like, oh, we traveled and we stayed in a hotel and we came from 6 hours, or we flew in from Toronto. And the thing I keep hearing is that my Netflix special, You're Doing Great, was like therapy for people during the pandemic. Like, because it was kind of upbeat, it was very optimistic, like, you're doing great, we're gonna get through this. And even the book was You're Doing Great and Even Reasons to Stay Alive and Other Reasons to Stay Alive. And I was just writing it, but I didn't realize it was like became like a self-help book, and a self-help special.
It's brilliant, and there's sometimes it's weird when you experience like a blowback from a desire to feel good and see the glass as half full. It's how we survive as a species. And Preston was just talking about, we had a segment about long despair and all of the people who are just in the throes of dealing with all this stuff. That's the service you provide. It is a release. A comedy has always helped me throughout my life, whether I was watching Bugs Bunny cartoons or whatever, going through a bad time. It does heal, and so it's got to be very good for you to see those people smiling and reacting to you that way.
100%. And it's, you know, I named the tour the tour that I'm on, the Family Reunion Tour, and I really feel like it's the family that I want to be with when I'm on the road and see all of the people. I literally was saying the other night on stage, I was like, remember back in the pandemic when they said we couldn't hang out with our families? They said we actually couldn't see our families for like a year. Wow, those were the good old days.
I think we may have discussed this before, but if not, your stand-up is huge on TikTok right now. And so I'm wondering if that has ended up, as far as your audience is concerned, is your audience trending younger these days as a result?
You know, it's interesting. There are younger people showing up, which is very cool. It's like, because their parents already know me, and now the young people know me. And also when I was doing the NPR show, when I was doing Live from Here, which was the Perry Home thing, that was another thing that like the whole family could listen to. So the coolest thing is when people come up and it's like the mom and the dad and like two 15-year-olds, and it's like, it's very cool. Casey, actually, you tipped me off on the TikTok trend that was happening for a while.
Yeah, you're talking about like growing people, and I mean,
you'd see it constantly on the stream. You still do, yeah.
I had this line. I made my own people. Have you ever made your own people? I've made my own people, and I'm their leader. And all of these moms started taking it and lip syncing it, and like showing their kids like doing like picking their nose or scratching their ass, and they're like, "Have you made your own people?" I have, and it became this trend. I was like, the joy of being able to tell my 16-year-old daughter that I was a trend on TikTok.
Top that.
Yeah. Tom,
she was so angry.
And we're all kind of students of comedy and fans of comedy, and I love, just like everybody else in the room, the Netflix special was therapeutic and funny. But when you watch something at home, you usually like kind of chuckle to yourself a little bit, maybe laugh if you're watching with somebody, but there's not like the double over laughter that you get at a live experience. And so I love going to clubs. I love going to like the Keswick and seeing comedy shows there. I've seen, I saw Saget there. I saw Mike Birbiglia. So I'm curious as to like when you perform live, getting that type of reaction versus getting the, hey, that made me laugh type of thing, like actually seeing people laugh. Do you know the difference that I'm trying to explain?
Yeah, no, it's a huge thing. I was talking about this the other day, that I feel like we need to have a return of comedies, film.
Yeah.
Like when we were kids, they were throwing so much comedy at us, like A comedies, B list, C list. They were just showing Ernest Goes to...
We go to the Bizarre File, a couple of shout-outs, if you guys don't mind. This is from Judy. And she says, hey, Preston, my son Ryan Johnson is a longtime listener, also was in studio for part of his bachelor party in 2017. And on July 18th, Ryan will be moving to Lima, Peru.
Wow.
With his naval lieutenant commander wife for her 3-year overseas tour.
So his wife is his commander.
Yeah, well, she is a commander.
Yeah.
They have a 6-month-old baby, Alexandra, and we will miss them very much. Can you please give them a shout out before they leave? Peruvian shout out, yay! And that's from Judy. So here you go. By the way, I think it was last year or so, we discovered Peruvian food.
Yeah.
Wow.
Really?
That is
what distinguishes Peruvian food?
They just have really unique seasonings and flavors. That there was I think it's in Abington, this Peruvian restaurant we went to, and I was like, sure, yeah, whatever, we'll try it out, and just opened up a whole new world of cuisine to go try. But
Peruvianville?
Yeah, Peruvianville. I don't know the name of it.
Were there like hints of Japanese fare in there?
Yes.
Yeah, there's a really significant Japanese population in Peru.
Yeah.
I don't know the history behind that, but and so a lot of the cooking is infused with Japanese style.
And Steve, as like an appetizer, you would love this. They had it was a kind of popcorn that's just there for you to. It's not. It had a different density to it, a little more denser than our. And I was intrigued by that.
Yes, I'd be interested in that.
So Peruvian
popcorn.
Yeah. All right, and then this other one is from Ari Vorhauer, and I've got a few charts in here.
All right.
My family has a bunch of birthdays in the month of June. I was hoping to get charts for them, please. I have a few. Of these have passed already. My daughter Greta had her 10th birthday on June 4th. My mom had her 85th birthday on June 10th. Heidi, my sister's partner, has her birthday on June 11th. My wife Becky, like Kathy, will be celebrating her 29th birthday on June 14th. Pat, my best and only sister, has her birthday on July 3rd. And not to be left out, Steve Morrison on June 12th and Casey on, it says, July 3rd. Casey's on the 4th.
On the 4th.
And they said they deserve shout-outs from the listener. And they requested each one of those a specific shout-out, but we just, I'm sorry, we can't fit them all.
So they probably wanted us to do Casey's on July 3rd.
Yeah, maybe so.
The day before the birthday.
Yeah, okay. So they were asking for like yoo-hoos and a dad joke chart as well. So,
Right.
but we're not can't do all.
3 hours.
Yeah, we only have so much
We're wealthy businessmen.
All right, we do have time to do the bizarre file though.
WMMR presents Preston and Steve's Bizarre File.
Brought to you by 80 Moyer Lumber, trusted expert since 1939. 80 Moyer Lumber is your professional source for decks, windows, doors, kitchens, millwork, and more. Visit them on the web at admoyer.com. All right, a remote Australian community has taken revenge on a massive saltwater crocodile by eating the 12-foot beast that was blamed for devouring pets and chasing children.
How'd you like that one?
On Wednesday, police in the town of Bulla in the Northern Territory shot the crocodile after deeming it a significant risk to the
You
community.
didn't kill bad, you ain't nothing.
Police said the predator had been stalking and lunging out of the water at children and adults, and had also reportedly taken multiple community dogs. In a waste-conscious move, the crocodile was prepared for a feast in the traditional manner, police said, but not before authorities took the opportunity to give local children an impromptu crocodile safety session, including an up-close look at the dangers within our waterways. Police Sergeant Andrew McBride said the animal was cooked up into crocodile tail soup. He said he was on the barbecue. A few of the pieces were wrapped up in banana leaves and cooked underground.
Literally on the Barbie.
Both the saltwater and freshwater crocodile species are protected in Australia, where hunting the animals had been banned by federal law since 1971, a time when poaching had driven them to close extinction. But numbers have boomed in the decades since.
Oh, wonderful.
With the Northern Territory now home to some 100,000 crocodiles. So
saltwater crocodiles are much larger and much more vicious.
Yeah, so they got plenty of them to go around. A Missouri woman who was imprisoned for more than 40 years for murder has had her conviction overturned after a judge found, quote, clear and convincing evidence that she was innocent of the killing in question. Yeah.
Wow.
Sandra Hemme, 63 years old, was convicted of and sentenced to life imprisonment for the 1980 slaying of Patricia Jeschke, a library worker in St. Joseph, Missouri, after Hemme made statements to the police incriminating herself while she was a psychiatric patient. And on Friday, Judge Ryan Horsman ruled that the evidence directly ties the killing of Jeschke to a local police officer.
Oh, man.
Who later went to prison for another crime and has since died. Hemme, who has spent the last 43 years behind bars, must be free within 30 days unless prosecutors decide to retry her. The ruling came after an evidentiary hearing in January when Hemme's legal team presented arguments supporting her evidence. Her prison term makes this the longest known wrongful conviction of a woman in U.S. history.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. What an achievement, right?
She had initially pleaded guilty to capital murder in exchange for avoiding the death penalty, but her conviction was thrown out on appeal, and she was convicted again in 1985 after a one-day trial in which the only evidence against her was her confession. So there was no evidence other than her
that
confession.
she'd done it.
And
do they say why she did confess under duress or?
Yeah, she was in the psychiatric. She was a patient in a psychiatric hospital.
They took advantage of that.
And a 147-page petition seeking her exoneration. Attorneys argued that authorities ignored her wildly contradictory and factually impossible statements. She was then 20 and was receiving treatment for auditory hallucinations.
Oh boy,
derealization and drug use when she was targeted by police. Authorities at the time also suppressed evidence that implicated Michael Holman, the 22-year-old police officer who had tried to use the victim's credit card. Holman's truck was spotted near the crime scene, and a pair of earrings identified by Jeschke's father were found in his possession. So they had,
crazy. They had evidence
on this guy.
Wow.
And the police covered it up. So
hey, sorry about that.
He died in 2015, by the way. So now she is going to be out of prison. And
at 63.
It's crazy. Yeah. Wow. All right, something a little lighter than that. A Japanese pianist has been arrested for stealing a cabin airplane attendant's apron from a parked Nippon Airwaves plane in April. And there's an interesting quote from this person.
Got to get me that apron.
Kazuya Saito admitted to the theft, with police quoting him as saying, "Collecting women's uniforms is my hobby. I smelled it and wore it myself."
Oh, my. Okay.
Wow.
I
then.
smelled it and wore it myself. So, according to his website, Saito
call me Jimmy.
Jimmy. Saito has won prizes at home and abroad and was a finalist in the Long Thibaud competition, a prestigious international contest for up-and-coming artists.
Sniff women's underwear. And I get the gold medal.
Saito was arrested for allegedly stealing the apron of the cabin attendant in her 40s from the aircraft's galley while it was parked.
It's gone.
The arrest came after All Nippon Airwaves company reported the possible theft of other aprons in April. Saito has also said that he stole an apron from an ANA plane in June, according to police, who added that they have seized aprons and nurse uniforms from his house in Tokyo.
Boy.
So he likes to smell them.
They smell good.
And wear them.
Yeah, Jimmy.
Jimmy!
In the UK, the Home Secretary has asked police to provide a full urgent explanation after footage showed officers using a car to ram an escaped cow. James Cleverly, that's the person's name, not James did something cleverly. Yeah. James Cleverly made the comments after footage posted online showing officers ramming the cow twice with their police car.
What are they thinking? That could have been an utter catastrophe. Hey!
While an onlooker is heard shouting, "What are you doing that for?
What's your beef?"
I got you, bro.
The incident occurred on Friday evening after police received reports about a cow running around on a number of main roads. And according to police, they received reports that the cow was charging at members of the public and had damaged a car. The cow got back to its feet after the first strike, but the police car hit it a second time and appeared to come to a stop with the animal underneath the vehicle. A spokesperson said,
"That friggin' hurt."
That they tried to safely capture the cow over a number of hours and explored a number of options.
Baptize me.
Before hitting it with a car. The force said that the matter had been referred to its professional standards department. Officers said the cow suffered a significant cut to its leg and is being treated by a veterinarian.
How am I doing?
And that
things are half and half right now.
Oh, dude. And that is what I have in the bizarre file for you. All right, so it is 10 o'clock, so we can reveal this information. If you have not entered it yet, I have the Preston and Steve Day Off at Dorney digital word for you. And you go to PrestonandSteve.com. You'll see the link to the Day Off at Dorney story. And you can enter the word menace. That is our word. Menace is the word today. And it could get you a 4-pack of tickets to join us for Preston and Steve's Day Off at Dorney, Thursday, July 11th. And you get free admission for the day, free parking and entrance starting at 8 a.m.
It's going to be so good.
You can be there 4-hour show and enjoy rides that are opening early and that does include the brand new coaster Iron Menace.
Have you seen this Iron Menace?
Yes, I
have.
have.
Looks terrific.
We will be riding that.
Yes, we will.
Very much so. So let's get you on board. Just go to WMMR.com or Preston.com, click on the Dorney link, and enter the word menace, MENACE. We will take another break, come back in a second, and we'll check the music news. We'll also get the lesson question and trash as well. Stay put.
Preston and Steve.
On 93.
You know, Revenge of the Nerds. I mean, they just kept throwing comedies at us, and a lot of them were terrible. But we all went to the movie theater and sat there and watched. And when there's this weird thing with human beings and this energy that connects us. And when you're in a theater and you hear someone else laugh, and then you laugh, and then it connects to the other person, and it's contagious.
It's communal. Yeah, it's great.
It really catches. When I do shows, I do like these corporate shows sometimes, you know, where a company like Microsoft will hire me to go do their thing. And the thing that they always screw up, which I literally have in my contract, is no dance floor. Like, you have to have people starting at the stage. They used to put like a big dance floor, and just that gap, between me and the audience. Like, if you take 10 feet, you've killed it. You've killed the electricity chain.
Right.
So but if you have the people up to the stage, that laugh, my energy will connect to those people, which will spread through the theater.
Yeah. Hey, do you pick up on distinct laughers in the crowd? Because some people really stand out with their laugh. And if so, do you kind of target them if you can?
Yeah, well, I don't target them, but it's definitely conscious. And the thing that I have to do is remind myself that just accept it as a real laugh.
Okay.
Because when I was starting and I would hear someone like, the insecurity was they're fake laughing.
Right,
They're mocking,
right.
They're mocking me. And then I would attack them, and everyone in the audience is like, what are you doing that for? He likes the show the best. And I'm like, he's not real.
There are some people that have that ha 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 like cartoon, like it's written out ha ha ha,
like the
laughter.
Frankenstein monster has learned to laugh.
Exactly, but that's how they laugh. Yeah,
yeah. I mean, I'll have to like say something just to get it off my chest. Like, something like I don't know. Thanks for bringing you Thanks for bringing your pet seal. Or whatever.
I wonder what percentage of your audience now too, because you've got. You've built obviously the podcast and your various shows and all the things you're involved with. Have you ever done sort of a casual breakdown of who's there and what they're there? What was their entree to getting into Tom Papa?
I know. I'm always so curious about it, but it's weird to just like stop in the middle of a comedy show and be like, okay, we're going to take a little survey now. Who here drove more than 2 hours? More than 2 hours? Where did you? Because it really is it is a mystery, and I kind of like that it is a mystery.
Right.
But there's times when I'll go play like a performing arts center, and I know these people are like parents, they've got families and stuff, and I know they're not on TikTok. I know they're not even on Twitter.
Right.
And I'm like, and I've been tweeting about my show all week. I'm like, how did you find out that I was here if you're not on Twitter?
Right.
You know what I mean? You guys don't use Instagram? Where did you come from? I don't know. I think it's just a combination of everything, I guess, over the years.
Well, it's almost like we've been digital, but we re-embraced some analog technology. We remember that, yes, the word used to get out, regardless of social media.
Yes.
And so that is something that is every bit as important. I mean, we here with terrestrial radio, which is still, the big mofo, it's still...
Yeah.
It still has something that connects in a very soundtrack of your life kind of way, and your podcast and your shows, they all have a regular radio feel to it. You don't want to get
it's that sense of community,
right?
It's that thing of like we belong to something. Everybody wants that. Everybody wants to know that we belong to something, and I think that. That's what's lost in some markets when they don't have really strong local radio. It's such a shame because you look forward to like, oh, the band is coming to our town.
Yeah.
Oh, we're celebrating this thing this week. We're getting together and looking for his eye patch.
Why was I even wearing that? But you're right. And then when a band would come to town and they were playing your city and they would mention the last town, I was like, oh, them. like an old girlfriend,
Right.
Cause
You boo.
Only him, boo. Do you remember a time when? I mean, I know we've mentioned the George Carlin picture behind you, and I know he's very important, to you. Do you remember a time as an audience member where you had that gasping, doubled over moment where you were responding to a comedian on stage?
You mean in the past? Like
for your entire life.
Yeah,
I'll give you a good broad time frame.
Comedy's such a funny thing that like you could just be watching a bunch of people, especially like on YouTube now.
Yeah.
Like I'll watch different people at different times, and you're just like you said, like, oh, that's funny, you just kind of chuckle. And I watched John Panette a couple weeks ago.
Right.
You remember John Panette?
Yeah.
Man, he just hooked me. And I'm alone in my room, just literally, he got me. He and every line was making me laugh harder, and I was trying not to laugh so I could hear the next line. And I was like, oh man, this is such a beautiful thing. This guy just up there yelling about corn dogs. But I always tend to, I like stuff like Carlin, and I love like stuff that gets has a little meaning to it, but I
Right.
also love, that was the thing I liked about Carlin, was that he also combined it with being very silly.
Yeah.
Like in Carnegie Hall, like he would be talking about something heavy and political, and all of a sudden he's pretending he's a crab walking across the stage.
That's great.
I'm always attracted to silly because I have a very low IQ.
Robert Klein was I remember seeing Robert Klein when I was in college, and that was it. What you just described. There was he didn't dismiss that part of the audience that would respond well to that, as because it's. I'm sure you design your act in a way to hit different group. You want to hit the largest group, but you also want to have people go, "That was for me."
Yeah, I mean, you can't really plan it. You just gotta kind of do what you think is funny.
Right.
You just gotta do, like, if it makes you laugh, and then all of a sudden it hits with a couple people, and you can't really plan out, like, I want to try and get this group, because like you said, I don't even know who's out there.
Right.
I don't know who's in the audience. It could just be,
Shriners.
Or all stoners. I have no idea.
Do you still pop into the clubs in L.A. when you're working on material and stuff? And how often?
Yeah. I'm going to the Comedy Store tonight. That's where I've been going mostly, is Comedy Store in Largo.
I'm so jealous of New Yorkers and L.A. people, because you just go to a club on a Tuesday or Wednesday night, and it's like, oh, well, it's Tom Papa.
A marquee name.
All 10 marquee names in one night. That's just, to me, it's mind-blowing.
It is pretty. I know they always, the Comedy Store always takes a picture of the lineup and posts it, and all the comments are like kids from Kansas, like, God, what's wrong with me? Why do I live here?
Well, we do have our
I wanna
moments.
be in LA.
You can go into a restaurant here on any given night and see Jervis from the first season of Survivor.
Yeah.
Ooh, no way. See, you really, it's bad enough I can't be in the studio with you. Now you got to throw that at me.
So I'm looking at some of the guests that you've had on your podcast, and I wanted to ask about, because growing up, I watched short attention span theater, the half-hour comedy hour. I loved all of that stuff. And so you would see just snippets of all these comedians, and Judy Gold was one of them. Yeah. And is she known as the Holla Queen?
The Holla Queen?
Or is that just because it's on the Breaking Bread podcast?
Yeah. Holla. Yeah. Oh man. For a minute I thought you were making some Holocaust joke.
No. Oh God. No.
Listen, people. Casey's Holocaust material is amazing.
Oh my God.
And you think, this is just going to go south, but the way he finesses it.
When he sent me that text at 4:30 this morning, he was like, "Wait till you see the Holocaust joke I've got for you today." No, yes, Hollow, the bread hollow.
Second Chance. Great song. About 10 minutes after 10 on a Monday morning, beginning of a very toasty week. Heads up if you are an outdoor person, if you work outside or inside in stifling conditions. 90 today, so we're easing our way into it. Tomorrow, 92. Same thing on Wednesday, Thursday, maybe closer to 95. Friday, inching into the 97 territory. And it's also going to be humid, too. Yay!
Yay! I love
We have gotten away with low humidity, man.
This weekend was a perfect example.
Oh, yeah.
It doesn't matter what the temperature is. I mean, there is something to be said for that dry heat nonsense that you hear all the time. But it was gorgeous. Perfect.
Yeah. It actually felt cool on occasion.
Good.
Yeah.
Good.
I want to give a shout out real quick to Ben and Julie. Ben and Julie, Ben's actually from Harleysville, and a few years ago I did this trip in Grand Canyon, and Ben and Julie were my river guides. Oh. And so Ben was in town this past weekend for Father's Day, and they're driving to North Carolina right now and listening to MMR. So I want to give a big old shout and a big old kiss to Ben and Julie.
And now they believe you're on the air now.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. They didn't believe it at one point?
No.
I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah. He's a big radio guy.
All right. We are going to ask today's lesson question. We are going to give away a pair of tickets. Let me see what I have here. Oh, for Santana and Counting Crows.
What? Nice.
That's a cool matchup. That's this Friday, by the way, at Freedom Mortgage Pavilion. Man, oh man, will that be a great show. All right, so the question we're going to go with, actually one that was just a little while ago. Where was Steve's mom's Crips? Was it a brand or a tattoo?
It was a brand.
A brand, okay.
Yeah.
Where was Steve's mom's Crips brand? Where on her body? 215-263 WMMR. Was not that long ago. If you were listening, you happen to know the answer, you need to call us now. 215-263 WMMR. While you call in, we will do the trash.
The trash business is a gold mine. 93.3 WMMR with Preston and Steve's Hollywood Trash.
Brought to you by Horizon Services. They can help you keep cool this summer with same-day repairs and next-day installation on your AC. Horizon Services, help is on the way. What's going on this morning, Steve?
Well, Dion and Karen Derrico, stars of TLC's Doubling Down with the Derricos, are officially divorced, with Karen getting full custody of their 13 children. TLC is making lemonade out of lemons, announcing 2 new shows titled Karen Delico, Crapping Kids Like Crazy, and Dion Derrick, Despicable Deadbeat Dad.
Oh, my God.
72-year-old Bill Belichick debuting his new girlfriend, a 24-year-old competitive cheerleader named Jordan Hudson. Belichick gave a sly wink after telling reporters that Hudson has been instrumental in helping him deflate his balls.
Oh, my God.
And finally, new evidence coming out that O.J. Simpson went to ex-wife Nicole Brown Simpson's condo on the night of the murders in a borrowed Ford Bronco. Simpson later told a local LA News affiliate that he wanted to check in on Nicole just in case he might have to begin looking for her murderer. And that's your Hollywood Trash.
All right, we'll go to the phone, see if somebody knows the answer to this question. Where was Steve's mom's Crips brand? 215-263 WMMR. We'll go to Jack. Hey, Jack, good morning, bud.
Hey, actually, it's Zach.
Oh, Zach. Sorry. All right, Zach, so do me a favor. Tell me where that brand was on Steve's mom's head.
It was on her forehead.
Yes. Correct, Jack. Hang on. We got tickets for you. It's MMR Rock Santana and Counting Crows, the Oneness Tour, which is Friday at Freedom Mortgage Pavilion. Tickets are on sale now via Ticketmaster. I caught a story the other day. I had not heard about Carlos Santana performing at Woodstock. If you go back and you watch the footage, and by the way, Santana's performance at Woodstock was
amazing.
Legendary.
Especially when you knew how high he was. When
the
he
whole
did that.
band. Well, that's the thing.
Yeah.
So he apparently was tripping balls
right
during that. Have you heard the story?
I know that he was tripping balls, but please go ahead.
So they were scheduled to play like 6 hours later. And David Crosby, I think it was, who came to him and had some acid. And he's like, you want to trip? And he's like, well, yeah, okay. We're not playing till tonight. So
yeah,
great.
We're good.
Yeah, we'll do it. And as was with that show, stuff got all mixed up and they had to shift around and they're like, you're going on in an hour or something like that.
No.
And I mean like peak time.
Yeah.
And he was thinking about not doing it. But they, I don't know if somebody talked him into it or whatever. They went ahead, he played, and they just tore it up.
It's so good. I love Santana. I love those long, and he was just, either that's how good he is, obviously, that he could play on through that, but maybe he reached Carlos Castaneda's spiritual level.
Probably.
Yeah.
Probably. So I just thought it was an interesting to pass along. Listen, before we go to music news, I want to pass along our condolences to our good friend, Matt Cord at our sister station, WMGK, and we've worked alongside Matt here at MMR and on Y100 as well. But his mother passed away over the weekend. Betty Cord has passed, and they, she was on her way out. They knew it, and so he got to spend some time with her shortly before she passed.
She was 94.
94
years old.
My dad passed at 94, and just recently as well, and. She was amazing. She was, and Matt's dad, who passed obviously, a while ago. I love the shows that they would do, the holiday shows, and it was a big thing. And but she's a great woman.
Yeah, so those holiday shows, that was something she was really proud of. And if you ever got to meet Betty, she instantly became your friend.
Yes.
And she would ask for you again or want to, have another conversation. She would remember your conversation that you had before and everything about you. And what I didn't realize is she was a stay-at-home mom and then went back to college later in life. And after she got her master's degree, she ended up working with older adults who went back to college and helping them get through college.
That's pretty amazing. I mean, my encounters with her were primarily around the station and radio-wise, and yet she always very, very sweet and made you feel like, we're just picking up where we left off.
She had 5 children, 11 grandchildren, and 9 great-grandchildren.
She was a little bitty thing, too. We're looking at pictures of her. She was a tiny little woman. She was adorable.
I texted Matt and I said, his folks are reunited and they're having bloody Caesars in heaven.
Yeah.
So we want to pass that along to Matt. So, all right, we have music news to do. Let's get to it.
Now, Preston and Steve's Music News on 93.3 WMMR.
All right, brought to you this morning by Horizon Services. They can help you with any unexpected plumbing issue this summer. Get expert plumbing repairs or replacements fast. Horizon Services, help is on the way. Just have a handful of things for you. The Eagles, after months of rumors, have finally confirmed they will be taking to the Sphere in Las Vegas for a series of residency shows.
I think that's going to be pretty amazing.
Yeah, think of the imagery of like Hotel California.
Right.
And how that might play out with really cool what's the word? Not interactive, but just immersive.
Multimedia.
Immersive imagery. So.
It's funny what bands. So I've been impressed by everything I've seen go through there. The Dead.
Our buddy Jim Sutcliffe just went to see the Dead at the Sphere, and he was raving about it.
It's like the stuff they come up with is incredible.
Yeah. Shows will begin Friday, September 20th, and wrap up Saturday, October 19th. So far, 8 shows in total have been announced. So in September, it'll be the 20th, 21st, 27th, and 28th. And in October, 11th, 12th, 18th, and 19th. Per the Sphere, October 19, advanced pre-sale registration is available now at eagles.com. Artist pre-sale begins Tuesday, tomorrow, at 10 a.m. Pacific time, and general on sale begins Friday, June 21st at 10 a.m. Pacific time at Ticketmaster.com, by the way. Rumors of an Eagles Sphere residency first began in February. At that time, the band was in talks, but a deal was not finalized. They are still in the middle of their farewell tour. Saw this story yesterday. Thought this was awesome. The identity of the model whose likeness graced the cover of Duran Duran's album Rio has finally been revealed.
Oh, really?
It is a classic album cover. It's a Nagel cover. So Marcy Hunt Dinkle, the co-owner of a small winery in Napa, is the woman with the cherry ice cream smile who inspired Patrick Nagel's artwork for the classic 1982 album, and experts have confirmed this. The band's fans spent decades searching for the original image used by the Playboy illustrator. Over the weekend, Mark Walker, a Nagel expert, and art broker Monica Moynihan, a fan of the artist, announced their discovery on Instagram. Walker said that he spent a substantial amount of money purchasing vintage fashion magazines before he found an editorial spread in the February 1981 issue of Vogue Paris featuring the photograph that it was based on.
So there is a Duran Duran documentary. I think it's on Netflix. And they go into this, Preston, how all this just fell into place and became one of the iconic album covers.
Yeah, she said, I saw that smile, saw those eyes that I'd stared at hundreds of times by this point in my life, hundreds if not thousands of times, and wrote, I've been entranced by this magical woman for over 40 years. I knew that it was her. And you can tell in the photograph next to the final product that it's definitely her.
You got to see that documentary, by the way. It is great.
Barry Hahn, Nagel's technical art assistant, corroborated the find, calling it a great catch. Hunt Dinkle, who wore glasses in the original photo, was unaware that her face was used for the artwork for Rio. She expressed her admiration for Duran Duran in her own Instagram post, revealing that Rio was played at her wedding 3 decades ago. She said, I had no clue.
She was the model.
That was her. She said, it's a delightful surprise. After 42 years, I'm a big fan of Duran Duran. I feel really honored to be connected with them. Hunt, a former model who had split her time between New York and Paris, first appeared in various magazines in the late 1970s.
You're probably more familiar with her brother, Michael.
And in 1980s, including French Vogue and Italian Vogue. She said, I was known in the business as the Smile at the time. And I guess that smile appeared to Duran Duran, and it turned out to be an iconic album. Of course, there's tons of hits on that album. So, but yeah, she and her husband now own a vineyard. So I thought that was kind of fun to share. In fact, Duran Duran's Instagram account had a simple yet emphatic wow as their comment on that. And then one last story. It's just a reminder that Jackie Bam Bam is going to host Willie Nelson's 4th of July picnic. The show features Willie Nelson and family, Bob Dylan, Robert Planton, Allison Krauss, Maren Morris, Mavis Staples, and Celise. And it's Thursday, July 4th at Freedom Mortgage Pavilion. Tickets are on sale now, by the way. You can go to WMMR.com, get all the details. And anytime Jackie Bam Bam is hosting something, it's high energy unless it's a blood drive.
Unless it's a blood drive.
Kathy, you should have heard Jackie when we were checking in with him from Oaks, and he was down at Live Casino. It was like we've never heard. He was
Preston, people coming in and they're donating blood, and it's very nice over here. Seeing everyone come down, and it's something.
Was that like his, I'm doing a blood drive, I have to kind of be quiet voice?
They apparently yelled at him because he wandered into the area where people were donating, but he thought he was...
I don't think they yelled at him per se. They probably, that's what he was saying.
Right, yeah.
But they probably said, hey, you can't come over here. Because the area where they're
trouble, Preston.
Where they actually draw blood, you have to kind of stay out. Yeah, the president yelled at me.
The president of blood came to me.
Yeah. But it was pretty funny. We had never heard this toned down version of Jackie before. He is he
was great though.
Yeah.
He went there for a number of hours, and then we got him and Pierre to sing. What was it?
California
Dreamin'.
Yeah. All right, that's it in music news. And a reminder: the President Steve Day off at Dorney. Digital word for today is menace. So you go to PrestonandSteve.com, click on the Dorney link, and enter the word menace, and you'll be in the running to win a family 4-pack of tickets to join us at that event on July 11th. We're going to take a break. We'll be right back. Wrap up the show. Stay with us.
Yes, Judy Gold is amazing making challah bread. I had no idea. I love Judy to death. She's one of my favorites. She's such a force. I put her in my live shows in New York, and I came on. She came on to the Breaking Bread podcast, and her background that she put for Zoom was one giant piece of challah that she had made.
So talking about that time in my life when I watched a lot of short attention span theaters, she had a punchline that, like, I mean, what was this, like 1989? How many years later, 32 years later, I still remember the punchline. It was silly. She was talking about getting changed in a dressing room, and the lady opens up the curtain, and she says, like, I don't need your help. Like, I'm naked with a belt on. And I don't know why that punchline sticks out to me so much. And I think it's because it didn't dawn on me that, like, I think she might have been trying to steal a belt. Otherwise, why would you be naked with a belt on? And I don't know, but I loved that time in my life when I was just discovering these comedians.
The Judy Gold age.
It was Judy. But listen, I mean, it was Norm Macdonald.
Yeah.
He had a big thing about wiener dogs back then. I remember that because
it sounds like you were going through puberty.
Yeah, it does.
It sounds like between Judy Gold naked in a dressing room and Norm Macdonald going
wiener
with his wiener. It sounds to me, Casey, like you were becoming a man.
I was.
You were becoming a man.
I'm still working on it, Tom.
And now he gets in touch with you at 4:30 in the morning. It's all good. So is this an extended tour that you're going to be doing, or?
I'm on tour pretty heavily through September, and then in September I shoot my next Netflix specials.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's all building up to that.
Tom, I wanted to touch on the bread for a moment because we wouldn't be talking to you.
Yeah.
Talk a little bit of sourdough bread. Have you ever addressed the sourdough bowl concept and how you feel on that? It seems like a kind of a big waste. I like sourdough bowls, but it would seem like kind of a waste of all that bread.
Yeah, I only like it if when I'm in, because a lot of places those are in theme parks and stuff, and I only like the sourdough bowls if I see the person eating the bowl when they're done with the chowder.
There you go.
I think that's...
If I look over and saw you gnawing at it, I would be happy. If someone just uses it as a bowl, I'm very offended.
Why not a cup? Why not make can you make a sourdough cup? They just
a little bit tiny,
like a shot glass?
No, not a shot glass.
You just walk around with it. Just walk around town and munching on your cup.
Steve, they could make the hat where you put two of them up here. And
two sourdoughs with tomato
Princess
soup
Leia
coming out.
ears.
Do sourdough loaves need to be a certain size, or could they make a little one like Casey says, a
Muffin
cup size? you know,
Casey's not wrong. Casey's
Okay.
not wrong. You could make them any size you want.
All
You
right.
can make them any size. You can make them medium size and pretend they're Judy Gold's boobs.
By the way, I want you to know I'm keeping your sourdough starter alive. It is in my refrigerator. I tend to it. It is. I have to be honest. I am terrified to make a bread because Preston had a story the other day about Robert Plant breaking the strap on Paul McCartney's classic bass, and I'm like, if I have a Tom Pappas starter dough,
It's a lot like that.
You've never tried to make a loaf?
I was just about to do it. I had during the holidays, and turns out our neighbor is a wonder sour, dough bread maker, and we happened to get a loaf, and I'm like, I can't. I don't think I'm ready.
You gotta do it, man.
I know. It's like dancing the red shoes.
I have to make a suggestion here, and Steve, you probably will disagree and cringe at this suggestion.
I love it as a child, though.
But you don't live far from the Keswick Theater. I think Tom should come over on Saturday before his show and make a dough.
Tom, if you can also bring some gardening shears, I'd like a little yard work done as well.
Yeah, I'm the Martha Stewart of comedy.
Yeah, we can make scarecrows for the holidays.
We're going to dye some Easter eggs. Get ready early.
Yeah, you got to dive in and give it a try, Steve. You
just
won't mess it up.
terrified.
It's all right, man.
Yeah, all right.
Don't be a
you
baby.
do.
And you're only taking a tablespoon of it. You leave the rest there. It's protected.
I just know to
Do
look up
whatever.
at me and go, "Hey, why?
What are you doing?
Why are you wearing that eye patch?"
If only he had two eyes, he could have made bread. He could have made bread.
All right. Well, listen, we want Tom's show to sell out. There's just a few tickets left. He's playing Saturday. The show's at 8:00.
You're going to love it.
KeswickTheater.com. Without a question, Tom is absolute one of the best, and you will have a good time.
TikTok star.
You will laugh. He's a TikTok star. Bring the kids.
Yes.
They'll love it. But tickets are on sale now. So, Tom, it is great to talk to you. And we'll see you here in the
Great
studio
to see you.
next time. All right, my man?
Absolutely.
Excellent.
Love you guys.
Love you. Tom Papa, guys. So, Dancing with the Stars host Tyra Banks had a major wardrobe malfunction that may have escaped viewers' notice.
Nice beaver.
Are we sure that's what it was?
The 46-year-old told E.T.
I can see a beaver.
I think it was the third or fourth episode. I walk out, my hand is on my back, and I was holding my dress together. It was not zipped up. And I did not have on any of my jewelry.
OMG.
Yeah,
What is that, a Muppet between your legs?
Actually, she does look kind of bare without jewelry.
Yeah, you're right, because they usually bling them up on that show.
Well, she's been a complete success during this whole run with the screwing up stuff right and left. And
She must have been rushed for whatever reason.
Mm-hmm.
Remember my wardrobe malfunction when my knocker fell out?
No.
Excuse me?
Was it dancing? Salsa
Yeah, I
dancing.
remember.
It was a halter top, so it clipped behind my neck.
Yeah.
And I was in the middle of a performance, and it snapped off, and it literally just fell down. And I remember the move. I had to drop to the floor in like a count or two, and so I went down early. And like I remember my partner looking at me like, "What are you doing?" And I had probably 1 or 2 seconds to put the snap back together, and sure enough, it happened, and I put it together, and I was ready to go right after. I don't know how that happened.
Were you at Parks or something like that?
No, I was at the dance studio La Luna in Ben Salem, and it was on video, and we did have the video, but I made the guy who had the video kind of blur out my nips.
Nips didn't show,
So
did
you'll
they?
never know if they're pink or brown.
Damn it, we were so close.
No, my nips didn't show.
I was at a friend's wedding one time, and there was a couple out on the dance floor, and this woman's boob was there just dancing along. Her boob's just hanging out. She had no idea. No idea.
Dude, those things
Somebody eventually said something to her.
They're so tight, and like sometimes it just like pops out the top, and you don't even know.
Well, my wife's old roommate she was wearing a top that was so loose that we were. It was like a Saturday morning. We were on the back patio having a coffee. She must have like bent over for something, and then she came back up and full on. She didn't even know. I had to be like, "Yo, dude,
your boob
is," because like I guess like the nipple kind of got caught underneath the
the neck of the shirt. It was the neck of the shirt had come down.
That is a loose-ass shirt.
That is a loose-ass shirt. I was like, dude, you're...
I just got...
Your boobs are hanging out! Just one.
I just got a text from the guy who has the video, and he said those were the days.
Yes, they were.
Giving the gift is more important, I think, than the receiving.
So I'll get some things from my wife. She'll say, here's something that I like, and here's something, and so I will get some good gift ideas. But the ones that I'm more excited about are the ones that go, you know what, man? She didn't ask for this. I don't even know if she even knows that this thing exists, but I think she would like this.
I have a couple on the list this year that I'm really excited about. Sometimes you go for it, and sometimes it'll be like, oh. And like, I missed on that one.
Oh, dude, Rochelle told me that she's like, there's one gift I'm really excited to give to you. And I'm like, there's nothing that I'm excited to give you. More Lizzie Hale and that vocal power. I miss the misery. It's 10:32. We're getting ready to wrap up our program this morning. You guys will have to skedaddle because Pierre's coming in. Yes, scoot if you will. Let me see. Oh, you know what? I did not get a chance to mention this yet. Our MMR's Big Friggin' Deal. We have this event coming up, you can take advantage of this. You can get two $50 gift cards for the Pennsylvania Campground Owners Association. All right, so the gift cards can be used at over 200 Pennsylvania Campground Owners Association campgrounds for the price of one. So once again,
that's pretty amazing.
Yeah, it's a half price type thing.
Yeah.
You can get the exclusive offer while supplies last at WMMR.com/deal. So if you are into the camping lifestyle or want to take a stab at it, obviously summertime is when that is most populous, then you can get that deal now. Or if you know a camper, you can gift this to them. So two $50 gift cards used at over 200 Pennsylvania Campground Owners Association campgrounds for the price of one. WMMR.com/deals. Pierre, how are your camping skills?
Oh, tremendous.
Tremendous.
Yeah. Yes.
Now, did you ever used to do it when you were younger, maybe? Go out and go camping?
No.
I know you're not. I know you're more into pampering and whatnot, but you are also a pseudo, flower child type of back to nature guy.
Camping for me is a Holiday Inn.
I see you as going out with just a can of chili, building your own lean-to, and living off the land for a month.
Dear God in heaven. Now, I went to Burning Man last year, and my buddy and I, my old high school buddy, he got a little trailer. And we were in the desert, so I guess you could call that camping. And then it started pouring rain, and then it was surrounded by mud. It was madness.
I had the worst experience.
It's unbelievable.
And I'm thinking of going this year again, but he won't go.
No.
And so, you have to have somebody to get you set up, and to get all this. There's so much stuff. You have to have,
you got to be self-sufficient all the way.
Yeah, you do.
You need everything. You've got to bring everything you need.
However, if you have, there's never been, just on a basic level, because I have all this tactical, these sites that, tactical shovel, tactical this, the state of camping and the state of what you can bring with you and this, solar panel, portable solar panels for powering all, it's amazing. So, you could, if you were of a mind, to get back out. What are the odds you would have that? How could it be that horrible twice in a row?
I don't know. But there were people there, everything from from lean-tos to tour buses.
Yeah.
These people not far from us had a giant tour bus. I'm going, that's what I want.
I want one of those.
It had showers and stuff on it, and it's a little rugged.
I got you. Did you have a good weekend?
Yes, fine, thank you. And
Wonderful.
you? Happy Father's Day.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
You too.
And I was the grand gherkin of the Pickle Festival
That's
this
right.
weekend, too.
How did the Pickle Festival go?
It was excellent.
Gosh, that's great.
So much fun. And it was a beautiful day, and it was packed, and it was good vibes all the way around.
Pickle perfect.
Yeah.
Pickle perfect.
We are going to need a letter for our word of the week if you've got one.
Sure.
All right.
Preston and Steve on 93.3 WMMR.
Now, the Daily Letter.
All right, the Preston and Steve show is brought to you today by The Letter.
P as in pickle.
Yeah, perfect. All right, we're going to give away a 40-inch deluxe beach buggy cart complete with chair rack and side carriers, and that's from Phoenix Coats Works, makers of the Phoenix Beach Buggy. The only beach cart that you are ever going to need. And you can get all of your stuff to the beach with ease. Visit phoenixbeachbuggies.com to get yours. That's buggies with a Y, mind you. So we will give that away on Friday. Get yourself set for that. What's happening on the show today, sir?
On the program, we will get to Led Zeppelin, a block of Dorothy, and some Father's Day songs that I wanted to get to on Friday, but we didn't quite get to. So on Pierre's Standard Time.
Excellent. All right. Thank you, Pierre. And I'll thank our sponsors. President Steve Show brought to you today by Dunkin'. And the President Steve Show runs on Dunkin'. Also brought to you by Acme Markets, fresh foods, local flavors. And Hershey Park. Hershey Park is calling your name. You can save on tickets now at HersheyPark.com and visit this weekend. Tomorrow on the program, I do know that we have Tattoos Day, so somebody's going to win a Preston Steve Show themed tattoo. And we'll see what else we can give away and do when we see you tomorrow. That's it. We're done. Ray John, have a great day. Bye-bye, gang.
Mm-hmm.